Welcome into Hand Raise, guys. Presented by Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating. I'm Neal McCready. You know Chase Parham. I feel like I've sort of been streaming with you all day today.
Because you basically have. I mean, for the most part.
Good bit of streaming. So we have a lot of content up at MPW Digital, rebelgrove.com, some combination thereof. Let's see. The big one is the MPW Digital pregame show.
Presented by Walk-Ons.
Presented by Walk-Ons. Walk-Ons in Oxford. Also in Ridgeland. The one in Ridgeland is open. I was there on Saturday for the soft open. They had the full-scale open on Monday. Be a great place this weekend to go hang out and check out Alabama Ole Miss or whatever games you want to watch. Pre-game, before that, post-game, after it. Maybe you're celebrating. Maybe you're drowning your sorrows. Who knows? Out of our control. They put everything they've got into bringing you game day with the taste of Louisiana. Dig into their mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine like po' boys, gumbo, voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers, fresh salads, quality fresh ingredients you can't help but crave. Coming soon to 1737B University Avenue in Oxford. And in Ridgeland, it's 720 Highland Colony Parkway. Also, if you're looking for work, be a great place to go. Fill out an application. See if you can become a part of their team. Walk-Ons Sports Bistro, more than a restaurant. This show brought to you by Comer Heating and Air. If you're in the Oxford, Tupelo area, get in touch with Comer. Great service, incredible products. They all take great care of you. Both of us have had experiences with Comer where we were in trouble. Your air conditioner goes out, you need help. Won't be long. I was just literally, as we were getting started, I said, can you believe it's almost October, like in the morning? And you know what that means. It's going to start getting cool at some point in the next 60 days or so. You want to make sure that heating system is ready to roll. 662-801-1777. And then if you live in Hernando, DeSoto County, Memphis, get in touch with Southern Air Conditioning and Heating, 662-429-4429. Also up at, we have a soft herbal that we did, Zach Berry and I did today. A lot of stuff in that. We talked about, I don't know, what all did we talk about? Football recruiting.
There's been some commits this week.
A little bit of basketball. Yeah, we're expecting a basketball commitment tonight. Zach's ready for it as well. I actually just edited his piece. It's brought to you by the College Corner. It's your one-stop Rebel Shop. 2 locations in the Jackson area and Ridgeland. The College Corner is next to Fleet Feet. In Flowood, it's next to Half Shell. If you don't live in Jackson, it's not a problem. Go to College Corner, collegecornerstore.com. Plus, you can find them on Facebook and Instagram. Whether you're tailgating in Oxford or home gating with friends and family, the College Corner has you covered for game day, the largest selection of Rebel gear in central Mississippi. Martin Palomo and I taped a Mind on My Money podcast as well. That's up wherever you listen to your podcast. It's mypinwealth.com, mypinn wealth.com. This will be the Oxford Exxon podcast on Friday. Chase, what do they need to know about the Oxford Exxon?
I will still need to go take a selfie in front of the convenience store there on Highway 6 West, the Blue Sky location. I've been telling you about that all week. Let's get to it. Go get there, take a selfie. You put it on the internet. You put it on social media. Tag Oxford Exxon in it. Hashtag Blue Sky Rebels, and you're automatically entered into a contest to win an official Ole Miss football helmet. I think it's the navy blue one, the more that I've looked into it. But either way, you get the navy one there with the
Oh, you think they're wearing navy?
No, I think you win the navy one when you take the selfie in front of Blue Sky. Yeah, that's what I believe. No, I expect powder white on Saturday. We'll see. It's around now when they usually put it out.
There was a rumor, and I don't believe it.
Yep.
But the rumor that was out there had a uniform hanging in like a locker. And if they're headed towards this in the near future, I have to tell you that I am completely on board. It was the white jersey with the powder trim.
Oh.
Powder pants with white stripes. I don't know whether that was a mock-up or something, but in the event,
I highly doubt it was real, but that sounds pretty sexy.
It was absolute fire. And if that's what they're going to do, then I'm 1,000% in on that uniform.
Corey said powder white gray is what they're going with.
Okay.
So, yeah, missed on the pants, but powder and
it's fine. It doesn't matter.
But the white on white's better.
It is.
It is. It's better. It's clean. It's a cleaner look. Yeah, same uniform as they wore in 15. That's not what Lane
and the
it.
same uniform they wore in 19. So, I mean, Stop.
If we're gonna do that,
Yeah, I mean, no. I'm sorry.
You got to do the 66-3 or whatever too, right?
Yeah, whatever the hell that was. It was like 8 gazillion to whatever.
They scored a lot of points. It was like 70-30 or something.
It was one of those Plumlee games where Ole Miss came back and scored 20-something points against the fourth string, and everybody's like, look.
Yeah. Yes, Luke, the mole thread on the message board is fantastic. Like, it is one of our better threads in months. I'll be honest.
You ever had moles in your yard?
I haven't had them where they're digging trenches and I'm seeing it. However, multiple times in the whatever, cats have brought moles to my doorstep.
Oh.
Yeah. As a, hey, look
what I did.
Yeah, doing the job here. I was like a lot of people in the thread though. I didn't realize voles were a real thing.
Oh yeah.
I had never heard of a vole before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing.
While we're paying bills and such, let me say this. We're coming to you from the Clark Ford Studios. Clark Ford's in Amory, Mississippi, 662-257-1900. Call that number. Ask for Corey Clark. Tell Corey what Ford product you're looking for, and he'll take care of you. He'll give you a quote within 15 minutes in business hours, right to the bottom line. No hassle, no haggle. You get your quote. The rest is completely up to you. Again, 662-257-1900. Guests, including you guys, which will be exclusively you guys because we have no more guests.
No.
We're completely done.
I'm guested out.
I've got nothing left. There's zero. I have no more takes to give. So you guys will call on the Rafters Music and Food Hotline. Rafters Music and Food on the Square in Oxford. Be a great place to watch the game Saturday, before the game, after the game. You know the drill. Great food, great burgers, po' boys, appetizers, great beer selection, full bar. Also Rafters on the water at Sardis and Rafters New Albany as well.
Kyle, thanks for the super chat. This is RIP Chase's coffee cup. I really appreciate that. It's been a hard week. A little bereavement might be in play. If Ole Miss loses, what bourbon we all have for therapy? I mean, God knows what y'all are going to be having in the stream, depending on what the outcome of this game, positively or negatively, is for Ole Miss on Saturday.
I'm not going to lie. I've never cheered harder for Ole Miss than I'm going to cheer on Saturday. I mean, if I'm just being real. I mean, people think, oh, you hate Ole Miss or whatever. No, there are things I would not do for Ole Miss to win the game, but
there are things you would.
There are things I would do.
It's not a zero list on the other side.
It kind of feels like from a business standpoint, things would be good.
Yeah. NAAU fans says, I wish Rivals will let you read other boards. I get not letting you post, but I wish you could read. It's coming. I don't know how quick, and frankly, because of the options our guys currently have, I'm not promoting it whatsoever. I'm waiting on a full bundle to promote that. So
what are even the options right now?
I think it's like State and Vanderbilt. I mean, what are you going to do with that? So with all due respect to Chris, like what are you going to do? I'm trying not to get in trouble. I've asked multiple times to have 5 schools added.
I talked today or yesterday. What day is today? Thursday? In the mailbag Wednesday. I don't trust rankings this year.
Yeah. I've asked for Auburn, LSU, Texas, Oklahoma, and somebody else to be the options for Ole Miss. That would be good. And I forget who the 5th was now, but it was those 4 plus somebody else. That was.
There is no Mississippi State site.
Yeah, I mean, literally.
I mean, I'm sorry, but there's not.
It's dormant.
I go around the league. I do the thing where hey, here's the tour of the West, and that site's dead.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's seriously no content.
There are sites that they're having a hard time breathing, and then there's sites that are flatlined.
Yeah,
and that's one.
They've already taken the stuff off the body at this point. It's done. So
Matthew says I'm starting to fit into the A&M beat. How so? Oh, about being a cheerleader. Yeah, no, it's a business. It's a decision.
This is not going to be the pissed off postgame video. I did love that on your A&M Mississippi State pick, however, today. Neal said either way we get the douchey postgame video.
Well, we do, and isn't there some comfort in that?
I mean, I know, I think I mentioned it on Hand Raised Guys last week, but you mentioned, you brought it up, so I have to go. I mean, every single time on the board, I don't just laugh, but I hyperventilate when I see the GIF of them opening the door in front of Steve Robertson doing that post-game video. I mean, I break down and almost fall on the floor because it's not just that they're in the middle of the post-game and they chose a spot where Alabama is coming out of a doorway. It's that the door opens and the look on Steve's face is complete and utter frustration and pissed off. And he said, you were behind a door that the trainers and everybody are opening, coming in and out. He's like,
Yeah, what do you think would happen?
Jesus. I've seen a lot of Tennessee over Mizzou buzz, and if it happens, I won't be shocked by it by any means. I mean, I wouldn't put any real money on Tennessee, Missouri at all on Saturday.
No, I mean, I don't guess. So we've got Virginia leading Miami 7-0 late first. We're waiting for Bengals and Jags to start.
I'm kind of watching Hey Coach while we're doing this.
Chase has finally gotten fully exposed to Hey Coach, the Alabama coaches show on Thursday night, and
it was by accident when I opened YouTube. For some reason, it was recommended to me when I logged into the Rebel Grove YouTube page, and I clicked on it a couple weeks ago, and now I can't get enough. I seriously might go home and watch it when I get home. They've got Ivan Manziel on this week. The coach is here now. I mean, I don't think in the stream or in the broadcast at any point do they say the word Nick.
no, it's Coach.
It's either Coach or Coach Saban.
Coach Saban.
For every caller, for Eli. I don't have the volume on, so I don't know what Ivan's saying. But this is great. This is just fantastic.
Everyone, please do us a favor. Hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It's going to cost you absolutely nothing. But if you can hit that like button, it really helps us. I guess I could be more forceful like Matt Moscona is, but I don't really feel comfortable doing that.
Yeah, he yells like every 10 minutes.
But I would love for you to hit the like button if you could. That would be great. We would appreciate it.
Kiffin on Reb Talk earlier said
Lane's really loose.
he's loose.
Read into that what you will.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. This combination right here is one of the best uniform combinations in football. The Bengals all white with the orange top, and then the Steeler traditional.
The contrast we get with this
is just freaking amazing how good that is. So do you like the Bengal orange jersey? I can't decide. I go back and forth.
I love their whites.
Yeah, the whites are just
the
amazing.
road suit is their best suit for sure.
Yeah, that is a great suit.
No, I'm fine with that.
You like the black top or the orange top better?
Black top.
I do too.
Traditional black top.
Me too.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, the orange is okay. It gets overlooked. It is a great logo.
It's a great helmet.
Yeah, it's a top 5 NFL helmet.
Yeah, I want that helmet. Like I would put it. I would put it right here.
Who do we know? We know any Bengals?
I know a Bengals person. Will he send me a helmet? I don't know.
You don't not well enough to get a helmet. You don't think?
Yeah,
probably work on
I
that.
could try.
Probably know somebody.
And on the flip side, I'm not crazy about the Jags logo. Even though a lot of people love it, it does nothing for me.
It's the teal tongue that screws me up.
Yeah.
I have a hard time with that.
Yeah.
That's my.
No, I'm the same way.
Think Jeffrey could just get Brandon Allen to send us one? I mean, he gave him plenty of pub back in the day.
He did.
I mean, give it a shot.
He did.
I'm just looking at their roster.
Yeah, Mike Hilton's a Bengal now. He beat the Steelers and bowed to the crowd.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe Burrow's from Amory. I mean,
yeah, it's true.
It's true. Got some stuff here.
It's true.
I actually forgot he played for Urban Meyer until they were flashing across the screen. That slipped my mind this week as we were talking about whatever else.
Yeah, Lane playing up the underdog thing.
Well, I mean, look, that's just PR. If you win, hey, God, we slayed Goliath. And if you lose, well, they were supposed to beat the hell out of us. What do you expect, guys? I mean,
there's a way that he's doing it that
you think he's being coy.
A, it's genius, and B, there's a part of me that thinks
it almost feels a little rope-a-dope-ish. It's
yeah, I'd pay some money to get inside his head this week and just know what he thinks.
Well, because he has, and it's not always positive, but I'll give Lane some credit. He's known he's going into games to get his tail kicked. He's not the coach that is just super, we're beating everybody to death every single week. Because you got some coaches who, I mean, confidence is the least issue ever in the history of the world for them, and they think they're going to win every game. Lane has gone into games from talking to enough people that kind of knows him that he knows he can get his tail kicked. However, I told Neal, he went into that Louisville game in the opener having zero doubts about the outcome of that football game. He was not worried even in the slightest about Louisville beating Ole Miss in the opener. And they didn't. I mean, obviously, Ole Miss dominated that game for any period of time that mattered and went from there, and it is what it is. But Yeah, I agree. It's just got a weird feel to it. I don't even really know what that means or anything else, but it does. It has a strange feeling.
I think he knows they. I agree with F. Webb here. He thinks they have a real shot. That's what I think too.
Doesn't mean they're going to win. But
Kyle Wilson says, loser of the bracket challenge has to go to Tuscaloosa, wait in line with the super fans, and go to the Nick Saban show. I don't know. I got to go to a game in Buffalo as part of my deal.
Baumhauer's is decent. It's fine for a franchise wing place. It's okay.
I looked it up. Buffalo plays a.
There was one ridiculous game in
It's
November.
a Wednesday night game in November that
Yeah.
I think I can pay up the bet by going there. The punishment for me is having to wear a mask on an airplane for that many hours. I mean, for me, that's pure torture.
Where do you have to fly into?
You fly into Buffalo.
You fly straight into Buffalo.
It's Memphis to Chicago to Buffalo.
Okay. Yeah, I was telling Neal, I actually really like Virginia's suits. I think UVA's done a good job with their uniforms. I kind of like Virginia for whatever reason.
Powder white gray.
Yeah.
Kind of a wasted opportunity.
It's
It's fine.
Are they still doing the running with the Gumps?
No, they quit it.
Yeah, they have.
COVID killed it, and I think it killed it for good.
You think that's it? You don't think Nick's going to go into a staff meeting and go, hey, guys, we didn't do the running last year?
I think as long as Saban's there, the running of the Gumps is dead. All right, Kenneth, thanks for Super Chat. He says, since there are a lot of people saying Ole Miss has a chance or is going to win, do you still believe this is a free shot for the Rebs? Yeah. I was on Ryan Brown and Jim Dunaway's show, Next Round Live, and I'll throw this at you, Chase, because I haven't gotten your thoughts on this. We've had a busy day.
Okay.
Ryan said this is the biggest game in Lane Kiffin's coaching career, and I was like, I mean, this isn't fair, but if he wins, yes. But if he loses, no. This is still a program that 22 months ago was the laughingstock of the country.
It is the biggest opportunity of Lane Kiffin's coaching career.
Okay.
It is not the biggest win or game of Lane Kiffin's coaching career. Well, it might be the biggest win, but
I think it's the biggest win if he wins.
Well, because we were talking to John Talty on the show Thursday morning. If they win, they wake up with the Heisman frontrunner.
Yeah.
The absolute stranglehold at the moment on the SEC West.
Yes, that's the biggest thing.
And at least in the conversation for a playoff national title contender.
No,
at that point.
with margin for error to get to the playoff. You could still lose a game and make the playoff. You'd have to win the SEC title, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, so you win. I mean, it sets up it's by far the biggest opportunity. I mean, there's no way around that. But game, I'm having a little bit of a harder time with.
But a loss to Alabama is not the same as, say, a loss next week to Arkansas or a loss in 2 weeks to Tennessee, where you're just like, oh, this is a sobering
But,
loss.
here's the problem with it is I'm looking at his resume, and I'm trying to almost kind of prove Ryan right here a little bit. I'm going to say the biggest game for him was actually a loss. And I'm looking at I assume
you're looking at his USC years?
I am.
Okay.
But here's the problem. The year that I'm looking at, even if they win this game, we're still in the BCS era. They don't get in the national title still because he went 10-2 in 2011 at USC. They lost 43-22 at Arizona State in week 4. Later in the year, they lose a 3-overtime game to Stanford at home. And in my head, was that the biggest game because of that knocking you down to 10-2 from 11-1? But why I'm almost kind of giving Ryan a little bit of a credit here is that even if you win that game, you're 11-1. Alabama and LSU are still playing for the national title.
Yeah.
You had no way to pass them, I don't think.
Right.
You're not jumping over Alabama right there. So that's – I mean, it's all relative to context, but it at least makes the argument kind of an interesting one, if nothing else. But, I mean, the problem is it's week freaking 5. Even if you win, Ole Miss has to prove that they can beat Arkansas, that they can beat Auburn, that they can run this table.
Got to go to Tennessee and win. Got to beat LSU. Yeah, no.
There's a damn gauntlet ahead.
I mean, look, if Ole Miss wins on Saturday, our live stream will be an absolute circus, and I'm in for it. I mean, I'll be here till we stop.
Oh, look, if Ole Miss is in the middle of a dream season, just hypothetically, I mean, manna from heaven for us too. I mean, if they're in some kind of 11-1 season or some shit, and they beat Alabama tomorrow and they run this table, I mean, CBS would be salivating for an Ole Miss offense, Georgia defense, SEC championship game.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You can spend all week with that going, hey,
no, look.
Titan against Titan and see
for
what
all
happens.
the talk about the SEC is going to rig the game for Alabama and stuff, dirty little secret,
yeah,
they'd probably love a different storyline. There's Bama fatigue. You see it nationally. The number of people that are picking Ole Miss. It's two things. One, it's a respect for what Lane Kiffin's done, and two, it's a hope. Someone knocked them off. We're tired of them. Your average college football fan, just our random friend in Dubuque, right? I guess he's for Iowa right now. But they all kind of want to see something different. Want to see something new because everybody talks about college football. Boy, the great thing about college football is it's unpredictable, except for the fact that it's really predictable. You know what I mean? It's Alabama, Ohio State, Oklahoma.
It's really unpredictable outside of what is predictable. Call that what you will.
So, but the fantasy, right, is a playoff of, I don't know, Iowa, Ole Miss. Help me here. Just something crazy. I don't know. Something completely different where everybody goes, oh, wow, this is neat. What was the best thing to happen in baseball in the last decade? It was the Cubs, Indians, or Guardians in the World Series because the storyline was, I remember listening to Pat Hughes open the 10th inning of that Game 7, and he said in the next however long, one streak's going to end. The Indians have not won a World Series in 70-some-odd years. The Cubs in 108 years. Something different's going to happen. There's something magical.
Everybody was rooting for Butler in the national title game.
Of course.
Yeah.
And so, I think people would love an Ole Miss Georgia SEC title game with it meaning something.
What I found interesting is now, look, there's tons of media coverage. I mean, there's the number of stories and, frankly, really good stories that have been written this week on Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin and Alabama and Nick Saban and the whole deal, Pat Corral. It's suffocating the amount. It shows you what's going to be all over TV on Saturday morning. But a lot of them are still getting it wrong. There still has a media that is doing this, look at the most volatile coach in the country and look at Lane Kiffin and whatever. Lane Kiffin's not that guy anymore. Lane Kiffin's just the most fun coach in college football. He's not the most volatile coach in college football. He's not even a little bit. Not the craziest or you don't know what he's going to do or whatever. He's just the most fun. He's the most internet-heavy coach in college football.
But he's kind of laid back. I mean, he does the...
No, he's become like surfer dude. I mean, he's just
he does the Dan Patrick thing. He's like, I was in the same tarmac, and I passed by the little office that they fired me in, and Dan Patrick says, was there a chalk outline of your body or whatever? He goes, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, yeah. He's not talked a moment of trash this week.
Well, no, I mean, like with Feinbaum yesterday, it was... hey, you're going to meet with Saban at the middle of the field, whatever. And he's like, I don't know. I'm going to ask how Terry's doing. We're going to walk back. Like, what do you think we're going to talk about? Like,
He's like, what do you think I'm going to do? We're really going to test your safeties today? I mean, Jacob French is exactly right. So if you offered somebody this is, thank you, Jacob. He's
tired.
I finally poured myself a bourbon. Ole Miss, Iowa, Oregon, Cincinnati.
Done.
Every year would people be into that? No, they want the superpowers. Yeah. But one off year, absolutely.
But if the ESPN exec or whoever the new John Skipper is said, you get Oklahoma, Alabama, Clemson, and Ohio State, or you get those four. Give me those four.
Oh, we'll run that up. Ole Miss, Iowa semifinal and Oregon, Cincinnati semifinal. For 1 year?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, God, sign them up. Now, the next year, they'd want the superpowers back.
Yeah.
Hey,
give me the oxygen.
Hey, next year, can I have Alabama, Ohio State again?
Yeah.
If you really want to know what TV people think, that's the truth. Hey, next year, give me an LSU next year. Give me Florida. Give me something. But yeah, a crazy year where the narrative is, oh, wow, this is this crazy sport where you just never know, and any one of 28 teams could win it. Yeah. Why do you think people watch the NCAA tournament?
We'll see how when the bullets start flying. I mean, it's Ole Miss's league opener. But what's been interesting has been, because somebody mentioned it here, what Ole Miss has kind of said in press conferences. And look, I'm not buying into a lot of press conference stuff for the most part. However, they have beginning to, in my opinion, taken on Lane's personality, but in kind of both good ways. It's fun and a little robotic. All kind of there's enough Saban influence over here to make them this, but then there's that little bit of carefree that allows them to breathe a little bit and still be human.
I was working on 10 Thoughts a little bit, and that was one of my thoughts, was that everyone keeps talking about they've taken on Kiffin's personality. I think they've taken on Saban's personality.
It's all very straight lines right here. I mean,
one game at a time. We're focused on winning Tuesday. We're focused on winning Wednesday. Yeah, but don't you excited to play number one?
If you take the logos off the thing and you said, hey, Matt Corral's the quarterback at Alabama, you go, okay, fine.
Sure,
whatever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A.J. Finley's the safety at Alabama, sure.
That's what he sounds like.
Thanks to Gulf Coast Reb. He says, Neal and Chase, I was 5 minutes into the Jeffrey interview on the pregame. Forgot about HRG. You guys are killing it with the content. We win on Saturday. Hashtag LFG. P.S. Check on the dead wife. Yeah. We'll do that shortly. Thank you, Gulf Coast. That's very nice. There is a ton of content up. I was told somebody today, not to get into this, not make this about us, but in some ways the pandemic, while horrible, was the best thing that ever happened to us because I think it made us reevaluate what the hell we did. I mean, just being real. Virginia does have nice suits.
They're good.
Miami's uniform's good.
Miami suit's good. It's a great logo.
You know, the people that talk about the Miami job, and it is going to open up, I have a hard time believing that the Miami job is a great job. Now, maybe there's some booster money that's going to come up and just change the game.
But it's been pretty dead since the whole Shapiro thing. Yeah,
it's been, this is like the third or fourth coach in a row that's a disaster. And it's the ACC. It's not the SEC. And right now, there is no doubt which two leagues dominate this sport. And it's not the ACC.
Say, given all the stuff going on right now, most college coaches, you said, hey, you get the Miami gig or the Ole Miss gig. Give me the Ole Miss gig. I'll take that one. It's in the SEC.
Oh, 9 out of every 10?
Well, the only reason you take the Miami gig is the ACC really, really sucks. And if I can maximize my thing, I can win the conference.
But can you recruit to it?
In that league?
Can you recruit to the ACC? Because kids go, hey, if I play in the SEC and I kick ass, I'm going early in the draft.
Yeah, the administration does not care about athletics. You're right, Corey. They put nothing hardly into that.
Ole Miss does. Yeah. SEC, all but one SEC administration cares about athletics.
Yeah. God, that Shapiro thing is like 10 years ago, too.
Listen, Frank, we'll fight you on this. We'll fight you all night long. He says they're not suits, they're uniforms. They're also suits. You can call them suits.
Suits is fine.
I'll die on that hill.
Uniforms is the primary definition.
But if someone goes, hey, man, that's a good suit. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, I have no. It's more of a baseball term. We're making it more interchangeable across sports because suit is absolutely a baseball term.
Yeah, of course. The players say, what suit are we wearing today?
Yeah. But.
See, the Jaguar uniform, Frank, would look better with white pants.
It would. They've got the same problem the Saints have when they wear too much black. It's so obvious the white would look better that it makes the black look even worse than it really is. Yeah, the more I think about it, the Bengals have a top 5 helmet.
Oh, it's a great helmet. Super underrated.
It is. No college has that helmet, do they?
Mm-mm.
Nobody copies that.
No, and they should, because that's fantastic. It's a great helmet.
My high school switched to it.
To the stripes?
They were forever. They were the LSU in basically every sport. They copied LSU and had like the tiger with their initials over the top instead of LSU. But yeah, a few years ago they switched to the Bengals stripes. Yeah, I don't know. I was kind of like, it's funny how media has changed because I mean, frankly, the NCAA is dead. But
totally dead.
I'm not sure there was a bigger time for like in the modern last 25 years for like,
Memphis does have the stripes.
Oh,
I stand corrected.
But it's on that chrome helmet. That doesn't count. You can't when you put it on the chrome helmet.
That's
you
true.
Can't. Yeah, come on.
It's a crappy uniform.
Yeah, that doesn't count. But I mean, that's back when Charles Robinson was like the Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
It like every college football program, you go, oh hell, like that ain't good. Yeah, Memphis doesn't count. That stuff does not count. Sorry.
All right, let's see. I'm going to open up phones because I'm completely mentally fried.
They're talking a lot of crowd noise over at Hey Coach. They think the crowd's going to win the game on Saturday.
Okay. If that's what they're counting on, they're in trouble.
What the stream is counting on. Bryant Denny will become our 12th man.
Matt Corral does not strike me as the type of person that's going to get intimidated by a crowd.
No, he seems very edgy in a good way right now for Saturday.
Yeah. All right, there's the number, 662-259-0991.
I will say, I'm just kind of reading the stream, and like I said, I've been following this stupid stream for the last 3 or 4 weeks. They seem nervous. They really do. They seem a little freaked out.
Well, Ryan Brown kind of said they are. Said Alabama fans get a little anxious when they play a game that they think they could lose.
Because it doesn't happen very often.
Well, no. I mean, they've had a hell of a run. You would love to see what would happen with an Alabama team if they fell down 21-0. How do they respond?
How does that quarterback respond?
Yeah, that's unfamiliar territory for them.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't trailed in forever.
And what was that stat?
88.
No, it wasn't that big. It was 88 games have been favored.
Yeah.
But it seriously is like 48 quarters,
Something
38
like that.
quarters, something like that.
A bizarre number. Yeah, Memphis has the gray helmet with the blue stripes.
Yeah, that doesn't count. No. That is a good – I mean, Miami's logo is good.
That's fine. It's a good suit.
They've gone darker on their orange. I kind of like the little lighter better. They've changed the shader too.
This is the third team quarterback, by the way. What happened to the first two quarterbacks?
I don't know.
Are they hurt or something?
I don't know. Well, I mean, King's been getting beat up all year.
Yeah. Good thing he spent his offseason making sure he had NIL deals.
Raymer and Jamer, I will say, though, at the end of games in opposing stadiums is loud as hell because all the home fans have left. They're the only thing that's left. Like that cheer is the most impressive road cheer there is at the end of a game. I'll give them credit for that. Yeah, Virginia-Miami better get busy if it's getting to 62.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like 62.
I don't like the numbers on the side of the helmets. Just put the normal logo on the other side. Yeah, Virginia's winning that football game.
All right, here we go. Hey, caller, who do we have?
Evening, gentlemen.
Good evening. Who's this?
This is Jarrett.
Hey, Jarrett, what's up, man?
Sure. I was hoping that you guys would recognize my voice by now, but I guess not.
It's kind of hard to tell in these headphones.
Fair enough. So, cool story today. So, a buddy of mine from the academy reached out that I hadn't talked to for years, reached out to me on Facebook this evening and was like, hey, man, do you listen to the Oxford Exxon podcast? And I was like, yeah, I do. Why? And he's like, oh, yeah, I thought that was you. I hear you call in on hand raise guys all the time. And I was like, bringing people together.
How about that?
Yep. So, so I agree with you that this game is mostly a free shot. But let me play devil's advocate for a second.
Okay.
Is it maybe less of a free shot because the reason we even have a chance to win the game is because we have corral, and like Kiffin has said, and y'all have said, corrals don't grow on trees, and so we may not have as much of a shot to win the game in the future as we do now.
Yeah, there's some validity to that for sure. Lane's kind of said that as much. I mean, you have to know what you have.
I mean, the alternative response is you trust him to A, find a quarterback, or B, make it work because he did whatever he did with Blake Sims. But there's no doubt that having the number one quarterback in the country gives you a better chance to go on the road and beat a top 5 team. Because, I mean, I guess the question too, I mean, looking way down the road and way ahead of ourselves, is what is Ole Miss's defensive ceiling as a program? I mean, do we ever think Lane Kiffin's going to put together a top 10 defense? I mean, probably not. So at some point when you get to 50, 40, 60 or whatever, I mean, it's sort of, hey, this is the team you have, and then your ability to max out the offensive side of the ball is the difference between 8 wins, 9 wins, 10 wins, 11 wins, whatever it is.
Burrow throws such a good ball.
He's pretty talented.
God, he throws.
Speaking of arm talent,
he throws such a good ball. Look at this little route. Boom, and there's the ball.
So yeah, I agree. It's just like if you're gonna okay, baby. What do you want? You want your blocks? Okay. Stella, say hi to Uncle Neal and Uncle Chase. Can you say hi?
Hey, Stella.
Say hi.
She'll warm up to us eventually.
We're talking about Chase. Neal told me he hasn't listened to it, but have you listened to the Murders podcast at all?
I've followed the story, but I haven't listened to a podcast about it. But I've tried to stay at least in line with what's going on.
Okay, so my question is less about the actual content of the podcast, and it's a journalism question about the podcast itself. So first off, the girl's voice is really annoying. Okay. That's not her fault. It is what it is. But on the podcast, pretty much every episode, she starts out by complaining about how hard she's working, and then she complains about haters commenting on her podcast. And then she asks people to go to her website and buy her mimosas. And every time they're talking about something that was reported on the story, it's like, I was the first to report that, yada, 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 yada. And it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of off-putting to me. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, that's off-putting. I mean, if somebody needs to tell you about it, I don't really need to hear it. A, and B, when you're trying to get people involved, especially in a narrative podcast like that, you might want to get on with it. Because I mean, not to get into a big podcast discussion because it's Alabama week, but
today's National Podcast Day.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, good for them. There's so many podcasts in people's rotation already that to get entered in new, you better be damn good. Like any negative off the top, I mean, routines are established by this point. I mean, that's one thing about it. I mean, getting started with another podcast or at least a podcast outside networks you already listen to.
It's a decision you have to make.
Damn near impossible. I mean,
like,
you got to find more discretionary time in your day.
I was thinking earlier today, like I need to make more time to listen to all the content that you guys put out. Because I want to listen to all of it, but just in like my daily routine, like, listening to it when I'm getting ready in the morning and in the car, like is not enough time to listen to all of it.
I mean, how much time do you need? I mean, because today, I'm going to do the math here because I'm curious.
I mean, I work from home and I haven't even listened to just the few golf podcasts that I would like catching up with the Ryder Cup. I mean, I haven't had time. I don't get to them.
I mean, today all we have done is 4:45. About 6 hours. I mean, it's 24 hours in the day. That leaves you 18 hours.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could have just not worked at all today and just listened to your podcast.
Well, priorities. I mean,
of course. I mean, what do you mean work?
I know, right?
LSU had Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase at the same time. No damn wonder they won.
Yeah, they were decent, weren't they?
Yeah. They're both really good. My grandmother called. So my grandmother is a huge LSU fan, and she hold on, baby. She doesn't know how to find stuff on TV, and she called me this weekend asking to know what channel the Bengals were on so that she could. Well, she said the Broncos. She wanted to watch Joe Burrow, and I had to remind her that it was the Bengals and that they had already played. But she loves her some Joe Burrow. But he's really good.
He's a great player. There's no doubt about it. Hey, thanks,
he
Jared.
Definitely is. One last thing before I let you go. Chase, you were correct about my question last week about the computers versus the Vegas lines.
Uh-huh.
So Air Force beat FAU 31-7 and only allowed like 200 and something yards, and I think had almost 500 total yards. So the computers were definitely off on that one, and so was Vegas, but Vegas was closer, I guess.
Yeah, it felt like just a money on both sides thing.
Yeah, you're probably right. So anyways, guys, like I said earlier, enjoy all the content. I'm going to try to find some time to listen to it and hopefully call in after a W Saturday night.
All right. Sounds good. Go Falcons, Joe.
All right. Thanks, man. Talk to you later.
You miss it?
Did he?
That's the kid from Florida.
He missed the extra point?
He must have missed it. Let's see.
Or was it a field goal?
Yeah, he missed it. He just missed a field goal.
Okay.
I still like the Bengals' chances.
To win the game?
Yeah. To win this game.
Yeah, I mean, in all seriousness, I think it's almost, not impossible, but it's not inside networks. Like us starting one, you guys are already kind of around, but just some new person getting a brilliant idea for a podcast, good freaking luck, unless there's some connection there. I mean, it's so different than even if you tried it 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
I mean, you're building an audience from nothing.
Mm-mm.
What is this commercial?
I don't know. When did we do our first podcast? 2011?
Yeah, it was either 11 or very early 12. We went daily in 13. It was weekly-ish before that.
Yeah.
Talk shoe. Recorded live. Sting!
Yeah.
Sounded like a really bad dial-up modem.
I remember thinking, there's no way anybody's listening to this.
It started off like 1,500. Like first early weeks was like 12 to 1,500, something like that.
Which is a pretty good number.
Oh, I mean,
yeah.
it was fine. It was all good. Like I said, first sponsor was Pro Bull Riding.
Oh, I remember that.
PBR. We interviewed the guy who had ridden Bushwhacker, the bull that couldn't be ridden. They came to like Tupelo or something.
Yeah, it was 2011 because it was a Houston nut season.
Oh, we started in the middle of that in 11?
Apparently.
Really?
That's what people are saying.
First guest was Eric Edholm of Yahoo
Yeah.
Sports. That was first guest. I do remember that.
I need to get Eric back on.
Yeah, that was. So 11, doing podcasts in the middle of that fall and that zoo, it blew up kind of.
It's a shame that we weren't doing a daily podcast back then because it would have been good.
That's a good point. Could have recapped the after Vanderbilt stuff and things like that. What year was it when you were watching the NBA playoffs and thought you broke your hand when you punched the table at that brewery across from Vanderbilt?
2012.
Was that 2012?
Thunder Lakers game.
Okay. That's right. Was that the same night that Verlander was throwing the perfect game?
Yeah.
Was that the same night? Yeah.
That was the night that Kobe got one last shot in on the Thunder. Kobe was a bad yeah.
I don't have any way to go back to TalkShoe. I actually tried one time, and they're all listed, but they won't allow me to download them or play them. I mean, I would love to have the early ones just for the fun of it, but I don't know how to get to them.
Hey, who do we have?
Hello?
Who's this? Hey, you're on. Who is this?
Hey, it's Loyal. How are you?
Say it again.
Neal, Chase.
Say it again.
Loyal.
Loyal
Buck.
Okay.
Oh, hey, what's up?
What's up, man?
Hey, listen. I'll be brief, but I was watching the pregame stuff today, and I can't remember the guy's name that does it, but it's absolutely phenomenal. I think you guys
Pete Deweese
have added something that is just.
You think that's who he's talking about?
I thought I knew football. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Us too.
I knew I didn't.
That is really such an addition to what you guys do.
So let me tell you how that goes. Pete and I do a Zoom, and I fix it where we can both share screens. And every single week, I kind of forget that I'm being recorded because I watch myself on the playback, and I'm like, oh my God, you look like such a dork, because I'm totally engrossed in what he's showing me, because I literally every single week have forgotten, oh, this is being recorded. He's that good that I just
I noticed that today because you went, oh, the safety took 2 steps back. So, Matt saw it,
Yeah, so he's telling me what Matt's reading, and then I see the safety take the step back, and I'm like, oh, it's that simple. And so you're like, and he's like, well, yeah, because you could tell he knew pre-snap what he was doing, and I'm like, oh, I see what you mean. I've learned so much football, yet I still don't.
There's a difference in understanding it and then recognizing it
and then
yourself.
Applying it. Yes.
Well, I thought it was really, really interesting seeing last year how they utilized Elijah Moore to just set up somebody else. And, you know, what Pete was saying in terms of how they may use Ely to do that. But there were so many plays last year, I don't even think we gave Elijah enough credit for. I mean, we always see him make the catches, but what he did just to give somebody else yards and open things up for other people was just amazing. And, you know, I think Ely will have some of that. Elijah was just a rare talent. So, I mean, I really do think the Rebels are going to play them well. I mean, did you guys get a chance to watch the Southern Miss Alabama game?
Not really. It was on. I was in a hotel room, so I didn't have like multiple TVs, and I was kind of flipping.
I was watching mostly Oklahoma, West Virginia.
Yeah, and I was watching a lot of Kentucky, South Carolina for reasons that I still don't completely understand, but yeah.
Well, I mean, I will say this, you know, Will Hall, from a schematic standpoint, you know, according to my eyes, which I'm now realizing aren't very good, but what they were able to do with a freshman quarterback against that defense, and I get it, you know, Alabama was probably sleepwalking a good bit. You know, they weren't doing too much, and Southern Miss was totally outmanned, but I was actually impressed with their ability to move the ball on that defense.
Yeah.
And that kid is a freshman quarterback, and
Or we lose.
Back. Well,
we kind of lost you, Loyal. Yeah, he's gone. If you want to call back, we'll get you back. Yeah, I thought Southern Miss did some okay things.
sure.
It was just those games are so hard to take anything from, positively, negatively, or otherwise. It's like Ole Miss, Austin Peay. What do you take from it? Nothing
Some
really.
of the problem with that was Alabama kept trying to score late. I was like, what are you doing? I thought Southern had
and
covered.
that told me something. Told me he's a little worried.
Trying to just keep it.
He's not crazy about that team.
I don't think Houston Nutt ever listened to a podcast, no.
No, he had people that did listen.
You think even the podcast back in the day?
Yes. He had people that read every word.
Yeah. Well, he had a lot of ops guys.
Jags score.
Houston had an entourage.
Yeah.
All out at practice together.
Well,
Mike and Clifton and the boys.
you want to keep this real in this moment?
Sure.
He had another site, and he had boosters. Totally involved in
Pretty active at the moment.
Totally going after me.
I would assume Hugh probably listened to a podcast or two.
Yeah, probably. I will say that Hugh was far more fair to me than Houston was.
I mean, Hugh could be completely fine.
Hugh and I had our good moments.
He could be fine.
We did. We had some good moments.
And some bad moments.
We certainly had some bad moments.
It was an up and down marriage, okay?
Houston and I didn't have any good moments. I'm trying to think if we ever had one good moment.
Even from the beginning, though? I mean, you covered the whole damn tenure. It wasn't like you came on in 10.
From the very start. It was just a disaster. He was
pissed off about stuff from Mobile.
Well,
still.
and he had been told,
Yeah.
you got to watch out for this guy. He's out to get you.
That's right.
And he believed it.
Oh, he was nothing if not.
Yeah. I mean, had it not been for Chris Vaughn, that whole deal.
Well, Houston would do and like he would act nonchalant about rankings the whole damn time, and then signing days on like February 4th, and Houston would call on like January 29th and go, "Hey, how do we get this guy bumped up to a 4-star?" It's like
it doesn't work like that.
Signing days in 4 days,
and then he'd get pissed off, and he could go to scout or whatever the hell they were at
and
the
they
time.
would move.
Hey, can you make this kid a 7-star? And they'd be, oh yeah.
Yeah.
And he'd say, you guys are out to get us. You're bad for the program. Well, it doesn't work like that.
We just do rankings all at once, actually. It's kind of the way it works. So, yeah.
Is that still you, Loyal?
Hey, it's me.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Hey, all I was going to say was, South Alabama shut out that Southern team, just completely beat them down, and they were actually able to move the ball. So, Neal, I noticed something you picked up on early. You felt early on that Lane has a quiet sense of confidence going into this game.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of picked up on that too. And I don't know if you got to see, or you guys got to see, Chase, the Paul Feinbaum interview he had.
I just saw snippets. I haven't seen in its entirety.
Yeah, I refuse. I refuse to watch an entire Feinbaum interview.
I get
it.
I spent a lot of time traveling in Alabama this past week, so I had it on. But it was interesting towards the end. I think he's actually kind of using those comments as fuel. He said something about how he said something about how we talk about rat poison a lot. He didn't say it, but he kind of said, I think this might have been a little bit of rat poison in the other direction. I think that really hit him. I don't think he liked that at all. So it's going to be interesting. I think, Alabama's definitely got the better team. They've got the better players, but we have the best player, which is unique in this game. But anyway, it's going to be fun to watch. But listen, I really want to say I appreciate what y'all do, especially the Pete DeWeese thing is phenomenal.
He is incredible. Yeah, there's no doubt. Look, it ended up being a bomb, but like the series he wrote on Longo when he took the job was incredibly fascinating. It's just it was a problem in the SEC. But
it was revelatory. Also,
it wasn't Pete's fault.
Day one, we knew there was a problem.
Yeah.
By the way, if anybody out there would like to sponsor Pete's weekly show with us, I can assure you that every cent will get sent to Pete.
What?
Holler at me. We'll make it happen.
So Dean Jackson just jumped into the portal today?
Yeah.
Did something happen in his legal situation happen today?
This I don't know.
Why today?
I can't.
Dude's facing 2 felonies in Florida.
I can't answer these questions. Maybe he's trying to go to Stop.
I don't know. I wondered why today was, hey, somebody's going to give me a shot. And they might. Who knows?
Jeffrey Simmons signing day breakdown. Was it Simmons? Who was the one that we were on the phone with you when it went down?
That was Simmons.
Was that Simmons?
Yeah, that was Simmons.
Are you sure?
I'm 100%.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
It was in the studio.
And then the thing happened later, and I asked you on the phone that night, what would you have done?
That's right.
And I think he felt like they would have had to get rid of him.
Yeah, he called to see about Simmons when Simmons was picking state that day.
That's what we were at Jeffrey's place.
We were, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a weird moment.
The number 3 2023 put Ole Miss in his top 5 today. Okay. Who's that?
I don't know. They have real momentum. Number 1 in 2023 is Arch, right?
Maybe he was clear. Now he's never going to play at Ole Miss again. But, yeah, they have Arch number 1. Alan says it'd be weird if Wilbon's rant didn't make Lane mad. Lane certainly stewed on it. I think mad's probably too strong because, there's nothing you can say about Lane at this point.
I think it bothered him.
On a personal level?
Yeah, a little bit. Come on, look, we're all people.
Yeah.
And deep down, you want people to like you. Kind of.
Yeah.
What?
Casey's comment made me laugh. Sorry.
Sonny Styles, no relation to Harry, according to Zach.
But there's been nothing. And Zach, I actually think I do have one like somewhere. I just have to find it. If so, that's perfectly fine.
5-star safety is what Styles is. It feels like if they're going to have the big recruiting breakthrough, it's in the 2023 class.
Yeah, it does.
Because those are the kids that are watching this season. By the time you get to be a senior, you sort of know what you're doing. It's your junior year that you're actually considering multiple schools.
Yeah, that's a problem for Virginia. They're only up 9-7 after they have just absolutely demolished.
Well, the
Miami
ACC sucks. The ACC's bad. I mean, it just is.
Not good.
Hey, who do we have?
Hey, what's up, guys? Matthew Mazzone. How's it going?
Hey, Matthew, what's up?
Hey, what's up, y'all? I had a question as we head into the game Saturday. Obviously, a lot of talk about Matt Corral, Lane Kiffin, kind of the shiny stars, if you will, for the game. Was thinking, headed into 2015, I kind of feel like the program was in a better position if you look at the way it was built, right? Kind of 2012, 2013, 2014, headed into that 2015 game. Curious to know your thoughts, kind of the health of the program, kind of across the board, right? Kind of taking your eyes off the shiny stuff, Matt Corral, Lane Kiffin. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, look, it's a year early from a total roster rebuild to be anywhere near in this game.
Sure.
A year to 2 years.
I go back to my.
But you have Matt Corral. He has completely elevated this into a different spectacle for Ole Miss. Go ahead.
And the transfer portals also let him add players that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise. I mean, there's Chance Campbell, there's Otis Reese, there's guys like Jake Springer. There's guys like that you wouldn't have.
Or Orlando Amana.
Yeah, in a regular deal. The transfer portal's a game changer for everybody, not just Ole Miss.
It quickens the rebuilds.
Sure.
As long as you have the ability to actually get those dudes.
Fair. I mean, looking at the recruiting rankings, I think 2013 finished 7th, 2014 19th, 2015 21st, right? So you kind of had a foundation there headed into that game. I just worry kind of outside the kind of the top line, Matt Corral, kind of the stars that we talk about all the time. When you get into the game, you get an injury or two, who are we falling back on, right?
Yeah, but I'm not doesn't that apply to Alabama too? Like if Young got hurt, turned an ankle and missed a quarter and a half, I mean, doesn't that impact their game plan? Like Jefferson went down the other day for Arkansas for a quarter, and I mean they had to totally scramble. I mean, in fairness to them, I mean their plan with Jefferson was working. If he stays in the game, maybe they blow A&M out.
No, I think that's fair about the quarterback. I think when you look at offensive line, defensive line, defensive back, some of those areas that maybe, that's where kind of, for me at least, it's like, hey, are we foundationally as healthy as we were in 2015 as a program to compete against this sort of team?
Not yet. And that's where I go with the free shot stuff. Because that's why even let's play a scenario out, right? Where let's say Ole Miss wins 42 to 30. We'll take my score and Neal's picks and flip it. 42-38 Ole Miss. Yeah, there's going to be like this jubilation and elation, and I won't be the guy that pours it right away, but somebody will probably take just a little bit of cool water and put it on the fire and say, you're still really thin and you still have 7 SEC games and an SEC championship game hypothetically left.
Without a bye. That you've got to survive, and boy, that's going to be tough. And that person, while you would go, you are Debbie Downer, you'd go, they're right. I mean, it is going to be tough. It is going to be a challenge. So, they're not a super deep roster. And it continues to be the Ole Miss problem is that there are so many positions where one sprained ankle throws everything off kilter depending on where it's at. I mean, even offensive line, there's finding number 6 and number 7 on the OL is a task.
Sure. If I said this repeatedly in the month of August, if you listen to Lane and believe which I believe, which is that he's pretty honest with media, with the exception of injuries, and you say, hey, what concerns you? Depth. What bothers you? Depth. What keeps you up at night? Depth. It was never, hey, I think our starters suck, or I don't. It was. No, I mean, if you promised him total health, I think he thinks he has a championship caliber team, but people get hurt in football, and he's a little worried about it. I mean, you lose a Chance Campbell, you lose an Otis Reese, you lose a Dontario Drummond. There's not somebody right away to replace them. That's the concern.
Jalen Sanders.
That's fair.
Yeah.
When you say it's a free shot, man, let me push back a little bit. I feel like, and you may go here anyways, but it's a free shot to the extent that we don't get blown out, right? Because you get blown out in this game.
Yeah.
You lose all the credibility that we gained this week, right? Headed into it, gone. Evaporated.
You lose like a 61-14 game or something, and it's disastrous. Sure. But I think but if you let's say my score is exactly right and 42-38 Alabama, does it harm you as a program? It does not. Not even a little bit. None, zero, none,
right.
None, zip.
Right.
It hurts your feelings, but it doesn't hurt your program.
I haven't thought about this. Would you say we almost have as much to lose as we have to gain when you talk about kind of the extremes of the spectrum, getting blown out versus winning the game?
No. No, winning the game's a game changer.
Yeah.
Getting blown out's a setback. Winning the game and the phone calls you can make to recruits on Sunday and Monday
and a close loss is just status quo.
Are different kind of calls.
You're not losing or gaining much.
And let's say you win. I mean, the atmosphere for Arkansas 2:30 on Saturday next week is
bonanza.
It's off the charts.
Yeah.
And you bring kids in for that, and no,
it's frankly probably nothing that Ole Miss has had since 14 Bama.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it'd be the closest thing to it would be the week after they beat Alabama.
Yeah, but they went on the
road. And the difference was, that
so when they came home for Tennessee.
Yeah, and frankly, the Mississippi State thing helped deflect some of it back then.
Yeah.
Because State was every bit as hot as Ole Miss was.
That's good. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good night. Love listening to y'all.
Appreciate it.
I didn't necessarily think he would be, but Kuiper doesn't have Drummond in his top 10 wide receivers for the draft.
He's got, I looked at this today, he's got Matt, Ben Brown, and Chance Campbell in the top
10 at their positions.
And I haven't looked at tackle. I don't know if he has Broker. Is that what you just said?
Yeah. Well, no, this is wide receiver.
You said Drummond. Okay.
Yeah, Drummond. Burks at Arkansas, number 5. Williams and Mechie at Alabama, 6 and 7.
Are there 4 guys better than Burks?
They have 4 listed. Pickens at 10. Man. Those are the SEC guys. Dotson at Penn State. He has number 1.
That Burks kid at Arkansas is a stud.
He's banged up, right?
Yeah, he's banged up, but when he's healthy, he is awfully good. Hey, who's this?
Hey, this is Jake from Madison.
I'm sorry, say it again.
Jake from Madison.
Hey, Jake, what's up, man?
Nothing much, man. So I'm sitting here watching you guys' show with my wife, who's a Roll Tide fan, and we're going to the game this weekend and wanted you guys' opinion on how we don't tear each other's hair out if the Rebels win, because she is going to be very, very angry.
I mean, I would tell her to get over it. I mean, that it's simple as that. I mean, she's.
It's not like they haven't had a good run.
Yeah, she's had her run. I mean, my God, is she spoiled rotten? I mean, did her parents call her princess? I mean, what's the deal?
They've been favored in 88 straight games.
You know how these Alabama fans are.
Oh, yes, I do, Jake.
Neal has no idea.
Yes, I do, Jake. I have an idea. I mean, I would just say, listen, princess. I mean, there comes a point where sometimes life isn't fair, and everything that you want, you don't get. And get over it. That's what I would tell her. And then I would pitch a tent in the living room and watch the late night game, and don't worry about it.
She's sitting right here. Her name's Caitlin. She heard everything you said. She said that Bama's gonna win by how many points? She's not talking.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't know what to tell Caitlin. I mean, I have nothing against Caitlin. I'm sure she's an absolutely fantastic person. But if it doesn't work out, I mean, sometimes you have to share with your friends, and They've won, 27 championships in the last 10 years? And it's at some point, this is going to end. And when it does, there's going to be I'm a Cubs fan. They've won one championship, and everybody's like, enjoy it. Alabama's had like 30, so get over yourself. That's kind of where I'm coming from.
I don't think we're going to lose.
Well, I'm not surprised by that.
I'm not surprised.
I picked Alabama to win the football game.
I did too, but if you don't win, it is what it is. Get over it and get past it. That's all I can tell you. If that's going to lead to this great division in your relationship, it's Caitlin's fault, not yours.
Well, the last time we went to an Ole Miss Alabama game was in 18? It was Luke's last year, I believe.
Yeah, so let's go here. Let's go here. Because, God knows how many times have you gone to a game or watched a game where Alabama beat Ole Miss like 61-7 and Caitlin's sitting there going, hey, honey, it's going to be okay. You guys are going to beat Vanderbilt. At some point in a marriage where things are supposed to be 50-50 and all that crap, at some point there's an evening out here. And if that happens to be now, well, then this is Caitlin's turn to have some dignity and have some grace and say, Ole Miss had a nice plan and they won, and congratulations, Jake, and be nice about it. And y'all can turn on the Auburn-LSU game together, and you can both kind of cheer for the referees and pour yourselves a glass of wine and get over it. It'll be okay. Life goes on. It's not the end of the damn world.
I don't expect her to be that gracious, but we'll see.
I will. But
I was going to say, and in fairness to Caitlin, and I don't know Caitlin obviously, but it just the 10 words that I've heard her say, it feels like she will be gracious.
Yeah, I'm not hearing a lot of malice.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't hear a lot of anger. She's cheering for the Tide, and that's perfectly fine. But I think she'll accept this in the event that it doesn't go her way.
Are you going full Ole Miss gear? What are we wearing to the game?
I'll probably wear like a powder blue polo or something. And what are you wearing?
Where are y'all sitting?
Yeah.
Where are we sitting? Home side, 45-yard line?
Okay, so Bama. Okay, Bama fans. Okay. What's your strategy for cheering in the middle of an Alabama section?
I don't think I'll be able to suppress jumping up and yelling if Matt throws a 70-yard touchdown down the sideline.
I think you're okay. It's not nosebleeds at the Valley. It's pretty calm in that standpoint. I think you're all right. Yeah, and you sat through some killings. Seriously, it's.
Oh, yeah. The year they scored that opening touchdown, and then they
were up 7-0
to blow us out. That one was rough because she's the type that's like, booyah, booyah, every time they score a touchdown, gets in my face, that type.
I say no.
He's pretty bad.
If your marriage made it through that, I feel pretty good about this.
I think you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, let us know next week how it goes. Call back in.
Thanks for taking our call.
Absolutely. Right. Thank you.
Bye, Jake. Bye, Caitlin.
Bye.
Caitlin seems nice.
Yeah, I don't sense.
I think it's going to be okay. I think they're going to survive the Saturday. Matthew says, "My God, Jake is going to get murdered."
Did we get an update on whether Viven's going to watch it with his girlfriend or not?
I don't think so.
Have we not gotten an update on that?
I don't think so.
Well, Grind, there's no way she hates Ole Miss more than Auburn. So, come on.
Come on.
Yeah.
Pretty easy stuff. Nobody would have any idea what I was about to say. Oh, here we go. Never mind. Hey, who do we have?
Grind.
Hey, Grind. I thought that might be you. What's up?
What's up, my guys, man?
Hey, hold on 1 second, Grind. We watched Hey Coach, and then I just saw this run across Twitter a second ago. Casa Grande, I guess, listens and then recaps it for AL.com every time.
Oh, yeah.
And here's what we're getting. It says third segment and then goes into a paragraph. And literally, this is on AL.com. Kay in Pensacola asked Saban what's wrong with the defense and why they are committing penalties. Saban said it comes down to discipline. Then the next paragraph where Carl from Demopolis says whatever and then does what.
Hey, Coach.
You all know how they saying it.
Hey, Eli. Hey,
I got a
Eli.
question.
Hey, Eli. Is Coach Saban still there? He's right here, Carl from Demopolis. Hey, Coach. This is Carl from Demopolis. I just want to say I love you, and my mama loves you, and my dog loves you, and I just wanted to ask why why do you think we're kind of struggling on second down? I mean, I don't mean anything bad by that, Coach. I just why do you think we're having such a hard time with Bryce? Do you think Bryce is a little nervous? Because last year we scored 78 points in the second quarter of the first games, and I'm kind of concerned, Coach. But we love you, and I hope you stay forever, and hope you live forever, and I would die for you right now.
I die for another championship. Man, yeah. But look, they're gonna be nervous at 2:30, and at 2:30 I'm gonna be pulling for the Rebels, man.
I think
I'm gonna be pulling hard.
Isn't the whole country pulling for the Rebels on Saturday at 2:30? I mean, really? I mean,
who wakes up like neutral and goes, you know what? I'd really like Alabama to win a football game.
I mean, anyone
today.
not an Alabama fan, everyone's like our friend in Dubuque.
Some Tennessee fans because of Kiffin.
Very few. Even they hate Alabama so much that they're cheering.
Yeah,
for Kiffin.
They do.
Oh, you think they hate Bama enough?
They number one rival.
Okay.
There's no doubt.
Fans.
Really?
There's no doubt.
Yes, no doubt. No doubt. If they could win any game on the schedule, it'd be Alabama.
When's the last time they beat Alabama?
2006 was the last time they beat Alabama.
Oh,
they haven't beaten
there you go. It's been a minute.
I was going to ask you this, Grind, because I saw you in the thread the other day. You mentioned being in the Texag stream. How much podcasting we taking in a day? How many live streams we watching in a day, Grind?
Man, okay, look, they go live the same time y'all do. So y'all see what my loyalty be in the morning.
All right, no, it's all good.
Y'all see my loyalty be in the morning.
It's all good.
So, but man, honestly, it's been a rough week for them, and like they should be. They legit worried about Mississippi State. And I mean, they was hot on Chris Landry because they have a segment with Chris Landry every week.
Who?
And he, the other guy, not Chris. What's another name that's all receiver?
Dan.
Carl, yeah, some guy.
Yeah.
But they got mad at him that he had basically said that, man, if Arkansas and Texas A&M played 10 times, Arkansas will win 9 out of 10. And I mean, that's
right.
Not the truth.
He's right.
It's like I told y'all, man. Like I told y'all early in the season, A&M got problems, and what the problems to me, what I see is with linebacker. They, like I said, they having to overcompensate in the secondary for the problems that they have at linebacker, which left them susceptible to the deep ball. That's why Arkansas hit the big players over the top on them. And when the linebackers aren't that good, you rely on your safeties like O'Neal to fill gaps. And I mean, when you got a guard against a safety, that's advantage offense most of the time.
Yeah, what got lost in the A&M Arkansas game was that KJ Jefferson missed most of the second half.
Exactly.
I mean, otherwise, Arkansas scores 10 more points.
And look, if Grant Morgan fills the gap, Texas A&M only leaves Arlington with 3 points.
Yeah, Morgan absolutely blew a play, and otherwise they hold A&M to 3 points. A&M's got issues. I'm the one that I picked A&M to cover the damn line, and I already feel like I gave a game away right there.
I just don't know that State's going to score.
Well, State can't do anything. They run this. They do this deal from the 20 to the 20. They're okay, and then once the field gets compressed, there's no creativity, and it's like, hey, let's keep dumping it off. And you're like, okay, well, you're going to lose yards.
There's going to be a lot of field goals in that game, man. It's going to be like a 16-9 game.
Oh, you could be right. I can't argue with that.
Can we get 19-9? Be great.
Yeah.
Man. But I'm gonna be heading down to Baton Rouge this week. I'm just going for the experience, man. Nighttime in Death Valley, people talk about it, say it's a great, great environment. I don't think we're gonna win. To be real with y'all, man.
It normally is.
You are too mental over this 1999 thing.
Yeah.
It is freaking you out way too much.
Man, no. 2007.
But see, no. You can't say no and then go 2007.
We'll never win there. I don't think I ever see a win.
But the kids who are going to play in this game were like 6 that year. It doesn't impact them.
I mean, Kentucky finally beat Florida, Grind.
They were watching Dora that night.
Y'all do know we in 2017 we had a 17-0 lead on LSU and we lost.
Okay. That has nothing to do with Saturday night. Nothing.
And then in 2005, John Vaughn missed 5 field goals.
Okay.
And we lost.
That was 16 years ago. Your kicker was 4 then.
Look,
he wasn't watching.
I'm not expecting to win, to be honest with you guys. Man.
In 97, Ole Miss's kicker missed 2 extra points and a field goal against Alabama, and Tuberville tried to cut him that day or something. That's not having an impact on the game this weekend. What was that kid's name? When he played for Mobile or something?
Won in Tuscaloosa since then, though.
Yeah.
Everything has been fine.
Once. Everything's not been fine, Grind. They've won once in Tuscaloosa since then.
Okay, but look, though, once you win that one, it's like, all right, we can do it. Yeah, I mean, come on, man. You had 1999. Just think about that. 1999. I was 4 years old, man. Y'all may be right, but I just don't see it, man.
How old was Tank?
I just don't see it.
How old was Tank Bigsby in 1999?
I don't think he was born.
There you go. So he probably wasn't watching the game. It's gonna be okay.
And now with this Arkansas on Georgia game, I'm going to tell you this.
Okay.
I don't care what the line is next week for Ole Miss Arkansas, but I'm rolling with Ole Miss because I think Arkansas just played a very emotional game with A&M. They're going to go to Athens and get the hell beat out of them, and then have to roll into Oxford. And I don't think Alabama isn't as physical a team as Georgia. And so, I think Arkansas. I picture, I told y'all in the stream, and I think I think Georgia wins 31-6, something like that.
Yeah, I had 31-7 Georgia.
Yeah, see, look, man, great minds think alike.
I know. There you go.
I feel vindicated.
There you go. I'm a little worried about Daniels not being available and that game getting sloppy and sluggish. And I do have a ton of respect for Arkansas's defense because I think it's really good. I think it's the part of their team that nobody talks about. Everybody's hung up on the whole Jefferson thing and the Sam Pittman's a fat guy. I hate media. Arkansas's defense is good. It's legitimately good. So it's what makes it interesting.
12.5 points in that game.
Over under how much?
12.5 punts.
12.5 punts.
God, that's a lot.
That's a lot of punts. I'll go slightly under.
Yeah, 3 1/4 doesn't cover.
Yeah, slightly under. There's 10 punts.
Okay. And my last thing before I let y'all go, man, we all watching this nasty Virginia-Miami game, and like y'all said, man, the ACC, it's a horrible league. I think it's because they have the worst coaches in the Power. Out of all the Power 5 leagues, I think it's the worst coach league. Out of all the leagues, I think they have the worst group of coaches.
Ooh.
I mean, after Dabble, where do you go?
Oh, that's a good point. The guy at Boston College appears to be a pretty good coach, but I don't know that I'd hire him at a Power 5 deal.
Yeah, man, it's just another way that FSU was just bumbling, man. I can't believe it. But,
look.
I just think, the program that I grew up on, maybe I should let it go, but the program, the FSU that I grew up on as a kid, I just think it should be way much better. Not that I'm a fan or anything. I just think it should be way much better. I feel like, and they're just fumbling the program right now, which is crazy to see.
You can make the argument that the number 2 coach in the league is Dave Clawson.
At Wake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can make a really easy argument. A dude that's under 500 at his school.
Hey, Grind, thanks for the call, bud.
All right, man. Y'all have a good night.
You too.
I mean, Grind's got a good point here. I mean, in the ACC, Dabo, Mac Brown, way past our prime here. Mm-hmm. Dave Clawson, Bronco Mendenhall, Dave Doran, David Cutcliffe, Pat Narduzzi, Manny Diaz, Jeff Collins, Mike Norvell, Jeff Halfley, Justin Fuente, Scott Satterfield, and Dino Babers.
Whew. Bunch of good coaches.
Well, you're in a Power 5 league. You would hope that you could say, hey, they're a bunch of good coaches.
That's true.
Good.
Hey, who do we have?
Hey, guys, it's Vibin. We are not watching the game together.
That sounds like trouble in paradise.
Yeah. I mean,
are we still together?
Yeah, but the conversation did not go well.
About watching the game?
Yes.
Wow, what happened?
She did not like that.
She did not want to watch the game together.
She did not like. I guess a week before was too late to be like, hey, I don't think it's a good idea for us to watch the game together.
That's fair. I respect that. So go your separate ways.
You seem a little frustrated by this, though.
I wasn't frustrated by it. I was just like, okay, well, it is a whole set. I mean, told her that Saturday. I was like, that is a whole 7 days. I don't know. But no, we are not watching the game together. Because, look, the thing is, I told her day one, I was like, I'm going to probably watch this down the road at a watch party with a bunch of drunk, loud, obnoxious Ole Miss fans. And I don't even know if they're going to have any of their wives or girlfriends there. So if you're just kind of sitting there on the couch in your Derrick Henry jersey, like that's, I mean, you're not going to be, that sounds like she'd be miserable if they lost, right? And I think they're going to lose. I think we're going to win. And if they did win, like, she'd just kind of be a buzzkill and feel awkward and not want to say anything.
You don't trust yourself to not be obnoxious at this point, right?
No, if she was there, I would absolutely keep myself in line.
Okay. But you'd rather not. I mean, frankly, you would rather her go watch it somewhere else, let you act like a fool with all the Ole Miss people, and then move on.
Can't y'all agree that on Sunday at noon it's over, and until then you just don't see each other?
Yeah.
That's fair, right?
I told her, like, I'm going to see her tomorrow night. Yeah.
Okay. This is not. This is not complicated.
You just have
on Friday night. You say, "Listen, good luck to your team. I hope they lose. I know you hope my team loses. I'll see you on Sunday at noon, and we don't talk about it."
Yeah. That's basically
no response. I just
phrased it, and she was a little annoyed at first, but like, I think she's good now. The conversation did not go smoothly at first, though.
Alabama fans don't handle things smoothly. They're not normal people.
Y'all fought about it?
I wouldn't say it was a fight. I would say there was a couple sentences into it where I was like, "Oh man, I hope this doesn't keep going in this direction."
I have no sympathy. I have no sympathy for them. I have no sympathy at all. If you offered a South Carolina fan, "Hey, listen," no, I'm totally serious here. This is they're the worst people on the face of the earth. If you offer a South Carolina fan, "Hey, listen, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to offer you 2 trips to the national title game and 1 championship over the next 10 years. Do you take it?" They say, "Absolutely, give it to me." If I offer an Arkansas fan, "Hey, here's what I'm going to do. 2 trips to the national title game and 1 championship in the next 10 years. Do you take it?" They go, "Oh, God, woo pig." Like they collapse almost in like a – if I offer Ole Miss fans, let's be honest here, 2 trips to the national championship game and 1 national title in the next 10 years, do you take it?
Neal, not to cut you off, I'd take 2 trips to Atlanta and us winning one of them. I wouldn't even care about the I mean, it'd be nice to have a national championship.
Yeah, but I offered you a national championship and 2 trips to the title game in 10 years.
Yeah, your next question is, well, what happens in the other year?
No, you're like, "Oh yes, give it to me, please, thank you."
Who gives a crap?
Give it to me, please, thank you. You're almost in tears
no
over
questions asked. Yeah.
Alabama fans are like, "I don't know. I kind of want 8 championships, and I'm willing to lose 1." No, screw you, man. I mean, you've gotten obnoxious, and your date of reckoning is coming. It's absolutely coming, and when it does, you deserve it all. And shut up.
There are Alabama fans that still don't brag about the 2017 season because they lost to Auburn. If Ole Miss lost to Mississippi State and we still won a national championship, pardon my French, I would not give 2 shits.
Well, of course.
You're really going to enjoy Alabama in like the Duke's Mayo Bowl here in like 8 years or something, aren't you?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, I hope I live long enough
Alabama,
to see
NC
it.
State on December 27th.
I want Alabama to have to play in the Birmingham Bowl.
Well, and look, in her defense, she's not one of those fans. She's not originally from Alabama. She grew up in Atlanta, and she graduated high school in Atlanta, and then she went to Alabama. So she's not one of,
But she at least went to school there, though. Okay. I mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's not. But it's been annoying me too because they're fans. Yeah,
Rebel Heckler says
like, well, we're at home, we're going to win. And guys, I'm gonna be honest. Correct me if y'all think I'm wrong. This is the worst regular season matchup for Alabama this year.
Well, now that's 100% true.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this is the one matchup where their coaches were like, okay, we're gonna try to get the kids up and make this a revenge game because they embarrassed our defense last year, but still at the same time, damn it, we may have a very hard time stopping them. And honestly, I think Ole Miss is good enough. If they get 3 or 4 stops and nothing crazy happens and they don't turn the ball over, I think Ole Miss is going to go in there and win. I do. I'll ask you this too: if you had to pick between what's more likely, Alabama winning by 3 touchdowns or Ole Miss winning by like 10 or more points, what would you pick?
Ole Miss by 10 or more.
Yeah, it's a bunch of turnovers. I feel like. I mean, a bunch. If Bama wins the thing by 20
it would have
or
to
more.
it would have to be some circus fumble turnovers or Matt just losing his mind. And let's be real, I don't think Matt's gonna do that. I think people were like start a thread about the crowd noise and stuff. Matt seems like one of those quarterbacks, like obviously it makes running an offense a little bit more difficult, but he's kind of one of those competitors that he just feeds off of that.
Grind makes a great point. He says Alabama versus Minnesota in the Music City Bowl in 2006. Those were humbling times for Alabama fans. I was at that game.
Were you?
Yeah. And yeah, it was kind of humbling.
Did they lose to Mississippi State that year, or was that the next year? Saban's first year.
That was the next year. That was the next year because I wrote a column that has just now stopped being sent to me.
That's true.
You're joking, right?
No,
that
totally.
Still gets sent to you 15 years.
It's finally stopped.
Well, all I'll say is I've been really confident about this ever since I saw that Florida game. I think if Ole Miss scores first possession, gets a stop, and gets the ball back, I think Ole Miss is going to win outright. I don't know. There's just something about it. Like, I only felt this confident at playing Alabama 2 other times. Well, really 1 other time, and it was the 2014 year where it just felt like all the stars were aligned. I wasn't even that confident in 2015, and then Alabama had like 5 or 6 turnovers, but I just feel like Alabama is not as good as they were last year, and Ole Miss is better on both sides of the ball this year. I think we're a matchup nightmare for them. But all right, guys, I'll hang. I just wanted to give y'all an update because I heard Chase ask.
I was just curious. Like,
damn, I didn't. Yeah, but all right. Appreciate y'all taking the call.
All right,
later.
Trevor Lawrence playing a hell of a game right now. Jacksonville up 14-0 and deep in the red zone.
What's the score? Oh, 14-0.
14-0. Mark says Ohio State fans are awful, but Tennessee is the worst fan base in the country.
Mark, is there any percentage of Tennessee fans that it would be pulling for Alabama on Saturday against Ole Miss, or is the Alabama hatred so high that they'd all be pulling for Kiffin?
They hate Alabama.
And frankly, there's a lot of Tennessee fans that want Kiffin back.
Yeah.
More than hate him. So.
Do you see where there's a Drago versus Rocky, like, new movie coming out?
I saw something about something, but no, not really. What's the deal?
They have, like, footage that they haven't shown before that they're going to make a new movie out of it.
Like a movie or like a little quick document?
Like a movie. I'll watch it.
You'll watch anything once you bet. You're
Rocky versus Drago. Change the world. Yeah, he says they don't really hate Kiffin.
Not anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to hate him, right? What do you do?
He left.
Yeah, but he left for his dream job. Didn't work out, but we all understand it.
I mean, Freeze is going to leave Liberty for his dream job at Tennessee, so it's
if he can get it,
it's fine.
They said they play pinochle. No, it's from back in the day. They're just cashing in. It's going to be one night at movie theaters, and then it's going to be all
one night,
and then it's all digital, like on streaming.
Oh, okay. So they'll make some cash.
Yeah. Hey, who do we have?
Hey, it's Mark.
Hey, Mark.
They've given up versus Alabama. I mean, they know better. And only the morons still hate Kiffin because, I don't know, Penn State had a coach raping kids in the shower more recently than Kiffin leaving. All we have is a coach leave. If you can't recover from a coach leaving after 12 years, then what are you doing?
Well, and they haven't, so.
The morons that blame Kiffin for all our problems are exactly that. I'd have taken him back in less than a second in 2017. Absolutely. Kids want to play for him.
Tennessee's going to win Saturday, Mark.
Well, I hope not. I bet Missouri pretty heavy.
Did you really?
Yeah, I'm fading them all year. We've got 35 SEC caliber players on the roster. There's another reason why the fan base stinks. And I'll get off the phone quick. Let other people call. This is about Ole Miss Band Week. It's about that game, not about Tennessee. But y'all were talking about it, so I decided to call in. Only fan base in the country that wets their pants because the opposing coach, who just beat you by 24 points, said he liked you. Mullen said after the game, boy, they played hard, and the whole fan base just got so excited about it.
Oh wow!
Oh, they took him at his word.
Oh yeah, that's Dan being condescending.
2 days later, Grantham goes, well, they didn't really do anything else to us that gave us any problems.
What do you think about Ole Miss, Alabama?
If it gets below 14, I'm probably going to bet Bama, just because I don't see how Ole Miss keeps them out of the high 40s. But I think it's going to be a really fun game. It might be the game of the year in the SEC besides Bama, Georgia. Yeah, probably is the game of the year in the SEC.
It could easily be. Yeah, there's a lot of people that think it's another 40-something to 40-something game, and if that's the case,
I just don't know. Has Ole Miss faced an offense like Bama's yet?
No.
Oh hell no.
That we even got to see. That we even got even remotely close. But we got to see how good the Ole Miss defense has improved.
No,
because I figure just be average Ole Miss on defense, and you're going to have a hell of a year. Just be average. And I don't know if they're average yet.
I think they're average.
I'm rooting for them.
I think they have a chance to be average. That's kind of what I think. I think there's a chance that Ole Miss holds Alabama into the 30s, at which point the question is, can you get into the 40s?
Mm-hmm.
And like the Bama-Florida game, just a theory. Bill O'Brien came from the NFL. When you get a 21-3 lead in the NFL, you just put it in the deep freeze because there's not enough possessions to really come back from it. And I thought maybe he just got conservative in the second half and tried to run up the clock.
Man, they got
beat at the line.
They got dominated at the line of scrimmage.
And their defense was on skates in the second half. I mean, it was bad up front.
I mean, the dude from Florida is a hell of a coach, man.
He is that.
That guy's
the
best game day coach in the league. I'm sorry.
He's
as far as game planning and just having his team ready to go on Saturday.
He's a terrific coach.
I don't think there's one better.
Yeah, he's a terrific coach. Hey, Mark, thanks, man.
All right, man. Good luck, guys. Rooting for you.
16-7, Virginia over Miami. The Jags lead the Bengals 14-0.
Just starting the second half, though, in Coral Gables.
Oh, that's a fumble. That's a fumble.
What happened?
That is a fumble.
So a touchback?
Yeah, they're going to have to review that. They might say that the ground caused it. Let's see. I'm not sure he had the ball. That's a fumble. That is absolutely a fumble. He might have his backside down.
Yeah, he's down.
Okay.
I think he's down. So is that them going in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was cheering for a fumble.
You were.
Yeah. Urban's challenging it, saying it's a touchdown. Urban would be smart not to challenge that.
Don't challenge that. Just take it
He
on
did.
the line. Did he really?
Yeah.
Lawrence has been good tonight.
Yeah. It's almost like they had a hard time replacing him because he's that good.
Did you see where maybe it was The Athletic was writing about how Clemson's offense actually held Lawrence back when he was there and that they've been unable to replace him somewhat because of their lack of creativity?
I did not see that, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Kind of an indictment in whatever media outlet that was today about that.
Clemson has looked very mortal without Trevor Lawrence.
Oh. Look. Very, very average.
Yeah. Let's see. I need to put the phone line back up. One of the flaws with eCam is it's kind of hard to find some of it.
What happened now?
Oh, there's the number. 662-259-0991 if you'd like to call. We'd love to hear from you.
Did he get in?
I don't think he got in.
I don't either.
No, he did not get in.
Oh, that's the kid from State, isn't it?
Who?
Is it not? The Thompson kid? Has he still got eligibility left over here, Virginia?
Oh, yeah. He was the quarterback at State, right?
Right?
Yeah. Hey, who's this?
This is Steve in Ruston.
Hey, Steve, what's up?
Oh, not much. Getting ready for a big weekend down here. How about you?
Yeah, we're getting ready for a big weekend. What's happening in the Big R?
Well, we're all heading over to tomorrow night the Neville West Monroe game.
Oh yeah,
So that's going to be
I hate both of
it'll be a
them.
big deal.
Cheer for the officials for me, please.
I didn't hear that. Sorry, Neal. What was
I said,
that?
please cheer for the officials for me. I don't like either team.
Which one do you hate more?
What?
I hate Neville more than West Monroe, but I hate West Monroe.
Well, Neville hasn't won since I think '95. I think this is the first year in a while they've had a shot at it.
Yeah, I don't care. I still hate him.
Okay.
I'm never going to feel sorry for Neville.
No, and I thought about you today though. I had a Griff's hamburger.
Oh, you did? In Ruston?
Yeah.
What'd you get on it?
For lunch.
What'd you get, a single or a double?
Double.
Oh, yeah. That's good stuff. Oh, yeah. That's good stuff. Been a minute.
It's you ought to get back and get one.
I should, really.
Yeah.
I miss Ruston a little bit.
It's the highlight of a trip, really. You don't. It's kind of unassuming, but when you're there, oh yeah, this is great.
Do you live in Ruston?
I live in Shudrint, which is kind of off of Ruston.
I know where Shudrint is. Come on.
Yeah, it's a Squire Creek Golf Course area.
Yeah. How are the Bearcats doing? I know they beat Oxford. That's all that really mattered. How have they done since then?
Pretty good. They're having a good season.
Yeah.
Couldn't beat Neville, but other than that, it's been good. They're hanging in.
How bad did Neville cheat?
I wish they could beat Neville one of these days.
Yeah. When I was in high school, we always beat Neville. We beat Neville twice my senior year. In fact, we finished Neville's season my senior year.
Neville had a coach, McCarty for the last probably decade, who was very, very accomplished at home every other year, but he is the principal now. So I'm hoping with him not coaching anymore, there's a kind of a slide. That would be nice.
Yeah, when I played, it was Charlie Brown was the coach at Neville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still very prevalent. When you drive into Monroe in that area, in the North Monroe area, there's Charlie Brown stuff everywhere.
Yeah. Well, he got his ass kicked by Ruston, so.
No, but my question for y'all is not really about Alabama Ole Miss, just what I've been talking about with people. So there's going to be 16 teams in the West maybe next year, but in the SEC, not in the next couple years. And it seems like they're going to go to this pod situation.
Yeah.
So Ole Miss, Mississippi State, LSU probably all end up in the same pod. Who's the fourth team in that pod?
I mean, there's a couple different directions you can go with that. Because if you went kind of west to east,
it's going to be Texas, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, Arkansas in one pod.
So then you could end. I mean, Ole Miss could get stupid lucky and end up with Missouri, State, and LSU.
I think that's what it's going to be.
I mean, that's possible.
And then you got Auburn, Vanderbilt, Kentucky, South Carolina, Florida, Georgia.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And I don't know how some of the Alabama, Auburn, Florida, Georgia, Texas A&M, Oklahoma fans will feel about that with LSU in there with Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and Missouri.
I mean, it just kind of is what it is. I mean, there's no way to make everyone happy and to make everyone feel like it's totally equitable.
Yeah. You couldn't throw Texas A&M in there with LSU and Ole Miss and State.
Grind says Ole Miss, Mississippi State, LSU, and Arkansas, and then Texas A&M, OU, and Missouri. I guess you could do that, sure. But I mean, you're just changing one team at that point. You're just trading. Yeah. You're trading Arkansas for Missouri. The East is what the East is.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Be State, LSU, and Ole Miss, and whether it's Missouri, Arkansas, or I think possibly Texas A&M.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, Steve. If you believe it's going to stay at 16 forever, all power to you. I don't, and so I think when it goes to 20 teams, it's going to all change, and I do think it's headed to 20.
What 20 with like Ohio State, Michigan, USC, UCLA?
Yeah. Something along those lines, I do.
Well, that'll be fun.
Be a lot of money.
Yeah, a lot of money and a lot of. I guess ULM and Louisiana Tech will really be hurting too.
I mean, yeah, but schools like that, it just is what it is. I mean, I don't. I think they're in trouble. I mean, there's going to be repercussions that people just don't really want to think about, but TV drives the ship here. I mean, we talk about this all the time. Like everybody bitches about the 11 a.m. games, and I get it, but the 11 a.m. games are a product of television, and the reason everybody does it is because of the money. It's not because anybody at the schools. Nobody at Ole Miss, for example, next week is like. I mean, let's just say hypothetically that Arkansas loses to Georgia and Ole Miss loses to Alabama. The game is going to be at 11 a.m. There's nobody at Ole Miss that would volunteer to go, hey, you know what, let's play this game at 11. But if you said, well, you know what, let's play it at 7, but you're going to lose the TV money, they go, no, we'll play it at 11. So it is what it is. I mean, at some point you have to deal with it, right? And so the TV is the way that it is, and for Louisiana Tech and Louisiana Monroe and schools like that, they're screwed.
Yeah, they're going to have to go back down to 1AA or something along that line.
And figure out a way to make that relevant.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be, that's a story that no national media, no one really talks about, is what happens to those mid-major, I guess what you would call them in football, the mid-market, mid-major schools.
Yeah, because they don't really care. I mean, nobody really cares. I mean, unless you are a Louisiana Tech booster or fan or alum, nobody really cares what happens to Louisiana Tech.
And a lot of those guys are half and half anyway. They're half Louisiana Tech, half LSU boosters.
Yeah.
So they got a kind of a hand in each pocket. But thanks for taking my call. I just thought I'd give you an update from North Louisiana.
Well, Steve, thanks for the call. Tell both West Monroe and Neville that I hate them both, and I hope that they both lose when they play each other.
All right. Talk to you soon.
All right, Steve. Thanks.
Bye.
Is that bad?
No, I was perfectly acceptable.
Okay. I mean, I just don't like either one. I hated them both. We're rivals, and I don't want anything good to happen to either one of them. Hey, who do we have?
Hey, this is Joshua in Van Buren, Arkansas.
Hey, Joshua, what's up?
Not much. You think Will Hall's boys softened up Alabama for us this week?
Probably not.
No?
Probably not. Not much, no.
Didn't know if they got after him, hard week after Southern Miss,
Where is Van Buren, by the way? Are you northwest?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm almost on the Oklahoma border. It's about an hour south of Fayetteville.
Gotcha, okay.
So I was calling because I listen to your podcast during the day. I'm a mailman, and so it leaves me a lot of time to daydream. And so you were going on about your love for Iowa the other day, and I had this daydream that maybe in like 6 years or so, after your kids are all out of the house and everything, and your wife comes up to you and says, "You know what, Neal? I want to go up north. I want to have snow in the winter.
Yeah.
What do you think about moving up north?" And you're like, "I don't know." And then a week later, you get this email saying that they need a new publisher for the Iowa rival site.
Oh, God, what an exciting moment that would be in my life.
Right. And so I was thinking, you've been a Big J all your life. Could you just put that down?
Yeah, I could. Yeah, absolutely. Spend the golden years of my life
point,
just
whatever.
being an Iowa homer. Absolutely.
But I was thinking, you've read Mississippi State and Texas A&M stuff so much, you could just go full homer.
I could. That's good.
Play the character for a few years.
I could even write a book about, Iowa State and why they belong in prison.
I mean, you'd have got
whatever.
all over Brandon Walker's ass when
Yeah.
he said all that
Yeah.
about the Hawkeyes
Yeah.
a couple years ago.
Yeah. I could even write like a book of poetry, Hawkeye poetry.
Instead of Oleander Mays.
Yeah. Hawkeye Mays poetry.
The wheat and cornfields swaying in the breeze.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Go to the Field of Dreams every so often. Sure.
There you go.
I am going to go to an Iowa football game in the next year of my life. I'm going to go to an Iowa football game and just take it all in.
In all seriousness, it looks like an amazing place to play, and Niall Kinnick's story is amazing. And
we do this thing with we do this interview with Chance Campbell every week, the former Maryland linebacker at Ole Miss now, and he said that the deal at Iowa is awesome. And I've gotten where I really like Chance, and I kind of take his word for it when he said it's really cool that you can see the kids' faces almost, and I'm like, yeah, it's cool. So yeah, I felt when Chance told me that about hey, what was the coolest Big Ten tradition that you did, and he said, oh, it's easily the
waving.
The waving to the kids at the hospital in Iowa. I was like, I picked a good school, so there you go.
Well, the other daydream I had was you talked about living down the street from a former kicker and getting Carson to go over there and take kicking lessons.
Yeah, Andrew Ritter's
It dawned on me that he will graduate high school the year that Caden Cost is a senior, so Ole Miss will need another kicker. And I was thinking maybe he's one of the 10 kids in the country that can hit a 50-yarder. And since Lane Kiffin lives 10 minutes away from you, he'd have to come do an in-home visit.
That's true.
And I just was chuckling at
what
Lane
would you
Kiffin sitting in your
serve at
living
the
room.
in-home visit, food-wise?
I don't know.
What meal are we cooking for?
I've never given that a
Lane
thought.
and Lebby and the boys.
Never given that a thought. Carson
Would Laura feed him olives, J.G. Tate style?
I mean, do you fire up the grill and smoke wings and stuff and do some party food kind of
With
stuff?
Lane though, you have to cook fish or something, right? Because he doesn't eat. He told me he doesn't eat red meat.
Oh, did he say he's not eating red meat at all?
He gave up red meat completely.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
So probably fish of some sort.
What's he doing for fish?
I'd probably smoke some salmon, I guess. Because Carson told us the other day that he wants to try to play college soccer. Which I'm like, okay, whatever. Yeah, sure.
But you might be dealing with this sort of.
I mean, I doubt it. But okay.
Yeah, I mean, don't kill a dream right now. Hell.
No, I'm not gonna kill his dream. I mean, but I'm just keeping it real.
So speaking of JG Tate, I was thinking you guys should go after maybe a Chi Omega sponsorship since you're the world's foremost Chi Omega podcast.
Yeah.
And get some of that dues money back. Maybe do like a Chi Omega or Panhellenic Minute. That might be a good idea.
That's not a terrible thought. That's actually a good thought. That is not a bad thought because that money comes out of my account, and that's not a terrible thought. The Panhellenic Minute. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. That's actually a hell of a good thought, Joshua. 80. You hope what?
I said, I hope we hang 80.
Well, 80 will win.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. If you told me that Ole Miss could score 80 on Saturday, all that goes through my mind when you say that is dollar signs, and I'm in.
Well, we'll see you Saturday night.
All right, buddy. Later. Bye. That was a good call. It's off the Alma exit. Yeah, I know exactly where that is.
Yeah, is Manny getting fired tonight?
Yeah.
This is it?
Yeah. Hey, who do we have?
Hey, guys, it's Corey from Tupelo.
Hey, Corey, what's up?
Oh, nothing much, guys. Just wanted to say thanks for a solid job this week. I've been listening to every pod that you guys have put out, and it's been some solid interviews. I know you guys are exhausted and probably would rather talk about something other than Ole Miss versus Alabama. But before I get into what I want to ask you guys, Addison, my daughter, wanted to say thank you for the gift bag you guys sent, the gift box, the football and the Huggy from College Corner. We really appreciate it.
Of course. And I'm glad you said that. So I need to give a couple of – I'm so glad you said that because I totally forgot. And you're right. I'm mentally shot. Yeah, we got some so here soon we're going to give away a grill set. It's an Ole Miss – what is that, a spatula, a fork, and
tongs.
And a tong. Thank you.
Yeah.
So we'll give that away in a bit.
Some very large tongs.
That's what she said.
I don't think she's interested in any of that, but no, she took her phone and showed it around school and was kind of showing everybody that she's a local celebrity on the Oxford Exxon podcast. And I think she also even took a selfie at a Blue Sky earlier this week, trying to maybe win some swag from those guys.
There you go.
Appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so just to kind of throw you a curveball, Chase, I know you and I have talked in our previous calls about the impeachment series.
Sure.
So I just wrapped up the latest episode. I'm not sure if you've had a chance to watch it yet.
I am not caught up. Neal is. I am not.
I'm caught up.
Okay, cool. So,
you can spoil
I'm a younger
it.
guy.
Fine.
I'm only 37,
That's
so
fine.
I don't remember much of what kind of was going on. But I found this recent episode to be intriguing, just with kind of the Paula Jones and the Linda Tripp. Linda was obviously trying to find a way to publicize this, but do it discreetly and feel like she was kind of forced to. And the only way for her to do that was through inserting herself into the Paula Jones case. So just wanted to I know you're a history nut. I love history as well. Love the presidential intrigue involved with that. So we just love to get your feedback and thoughts on that. Always enjoy the show, guys. Keep up the great work.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. I just think Linda Tripp was a lonely, attention-seeking.
Only lonely.
Lonely, mostly. And the truth is, Clinton was lonely.
Bitter. Linda was bitter, too.
She was.
Watching everything else around her move.
Sure. And she would go home by herself to kids and eat TV dinners. And it wasn't what she imagined her life would be.
The show, frankly, points her out as a very tragic figure.
And she probably in many ways was.
Yeah.
Hey, who do we have?
What's going on? It's Cody from Hamilton, Mississippi.
Hey,
Cody, what's up, man?
Yeah, I guess Chase probably the only person knows where that is. But
I know exactly where that's
no,
at. Yeah.
Well, go ahead, Chase.
Oh, no, Big say, yeah, absolutely. Played a lot of baseball over there.
No, and
Cody, do you like to grill?
Curious on your thoughts.
Cody, do you?
I'm watching.
Hey, Cody.
Go ahead.
Do you grill?
Yeah.
Are you a griller?
Oh yeah.
All right, listen, get in touch with us and send me or Chase, one of us, your address. And this grill set, it's an Ole Miss grill set from You the Fan. It's a spatula, tongs, and a fork. It's a grill set. It's really cool. Courtesy of the people at College Corner. So
we'll get it sent to you.
We'll get it sent to you. Get us your address,
Awesome,
okay?
Cool. So y'all watching this Miami and Virginia game, right?
We've got it on TV too. Yes.
All right. Does quarterback's face mask bother y'all as much as it bothers me? And it may be because I've had too many tonight. But have y'all seen Virginia's quarterback's face mask?
I can't. I would be lying to you if I told you that I had noticed his
What have
face
you been?
mask.
What have you been having?
Yeah. What are you drinking? That's a great question.
Well, I mean, I'm just drinking Dos Equis, but I got off this morning.
Which one? The green label or the gold label?
Oh, green label.
Yeah, those are good.
Are those better?
The lager. It's much better than the amber.
Oh yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
total difference.
Okay.
Well, next time he comes on, just check out his face mask and see if stuff like that bothers you, because it does me. But anyway, the second thing on this game, the Keaton Thompson kid, is that the transfer from state?
I think so. I mean, right?
That's what Chase thinks.
I mean,
I don't know.
Or has that been 12 years ago at this point? I mean, I don't. It beats me.
I lose track of time. I don't know.
Well, and this is the second thing that's bothered me. I don't know how much y'all paid attention, but he's playing wide receiver. His number is 99. Is that not odd to you? I mean, that's awful.
It'd be illegal in the NFL.
Yeah, it's kind of a Ricky Vaughn. Maybe he's a big Major League fan. He likes the movie.
It's just goofy as hell to watch. But anyway, I've heard nobody talk about this, but is it not odd? And I hate to bring up Arch, because it's kind of beat to death. But
it's all good. First time
his official visit for the Alabama is against Ole Miss. I mean, that's
unofficial.
Like
it's unofficial.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's just hanging out.
I was thinking
he doesn't need official visits.
You don't think so?
No.
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Well, they foot the bill though.
It's okay.
Well, I mean, let's just say Ole Miss jumps on them and wins the game. I mean, that's got to be kind of awkward for Cooper, right? Because Cooper's going to want.
Here's the question: are they wearing Alabama gear on Saturday afternoon?
Arch is wearing an Alabama hat.
You think he will wear an Alabama hat?
Cooper is not.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, yeah. I mean, like, I don't assume it affects Arch too much, because I don't figure Arch cares much about Ole Miss as Cooper does. You got to think that would put Cooper in a situation, him.
I mean,
trying not to cheer and whatnot.
Do you have kids?
No.
Okay. Well, here's what I can tell you when you have kids is that your love for a kid and your love for a school are such two different things that it'll be all right. And they're the Mannings. It's going to be fine. Look, here's the deal. That game Saturday is not going to impact Arch Manning's decision on any level. He's in a unique spot because of his family situation and his ability to get information across the board. His decision will be far more. That's the word I'm looking for, Chase. It's not going to be an emotional.
It's going to be an earnest.
He's making kind of a professional,
very
decision.
pragmatic.
Yeah,
decision.
Pragmatic is the word I was looking for. The game Saturday won't matter, and whether he's going to sit with some Alabama people and all that, but it's not going to matter. I'm just telling you, it's not going to matter who wins that game. The only thing that could possibly be a factor is pro Ole Miss, right? Is that he's sitting there in the stands and he catches himself cheering for Ole Miss.
Yeah, and that's more or less what I was getting to. I mean, you would think that he was if he was going to go to visit Alabama, it wouldn't be when Ole Miss was there.
I don't know. It's the way the schedule worked out. I mean, he's already
trying to fit in 6 or 7. He's coming to Oxford for the LSU game. Well, and frankly, maybe he would just want to see Ole Miss twice. I mean, who's to say that he's not just trying to run into the Rebels? I mean, I don't know.
I think it's totally positive. If it's anything, I think it's more likely that it's nothing. But it's more likely that it's positive, that he feels some sort of an emotional pull towards Ole Miss.
He's also a football nut, and he goes, hey, Alabama's playing Ole Miss. It'd be kind of cool to be in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, he's going to watch how they use two quarterbacks. I think he'll probably watch the game the way that I would watch a CFL game between Saskatchewan and Ottawa.
Yeah. Well, and I guess I just brought it up because I have this awesome vision in my head Matt Corral throwing a 70-yard deep pass to Braylon Sanders scoring, and the camera jumps on Cooper, and he kind of jumps up, and he's like, "Oh shit!" and looks around, like, "I ain't supposed to be cheering." I don't know. That's just something I.
Oh, I suspect Cooper has been to enough football games where he could be like a media member and he could watch a game completely stone-faced.
Yeah. All right. Well, all right, guys. Well, I appreciate the gift, and I'll do. You just want me to DM you on the message board, or
any of that's
either
fine.
one of us, message board or Twitter or whatever. Just get us an address.
Okay. Awesome, guys. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll go.
Yeah, Cooper's been to enough football games that he can.
He does have a running back face mask on.
Yeah, he does.
The extra bars.
I'm not sure I ever would have noticed. God, what a bad throw. He just threw the ball just straight into traffic.
Well,
Is
they're
that a
not good.
touchdown? Oh, my God. How?
He caught it?
I got to see a replay of that. Hey, who do we have?
This is Casey from Natchez.
Hey, Casey.
Hey, guys. Chase, did you like that Hugh Freeze book title?
That was good. Yeah, it kind of cracked me up for a minute. I had a hard time kind of recovering myself a little there for a minute.
I saw it. I'm glad you thought it was funny. I thought it was pretty funny, too. Hey,
Casey, real
Yes,
quick,
sir.
send one of us an address. I've got you a red and blue Ole Miss football from the College Corner.
Man, you're the man, Neal. You're the man. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Glad to help.
Speaking of sponsors, me and my brother-in-law have purchased our F-150s from Corey, and we love them. So shout out to Corey Clark and all the people there.
Amen.
Yeah, that's
Thank
a sweet
you.
ball. Thank
That's
you,
awesome.
man. My boys will love that.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 questions. Everybody's. So I'm
I'm even going to throw in a couple. I'm going to throw in a couple of koozies for you as well.
That'll work. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So as an Ole Miss fan, I'm trying to figure out, how we get our hearts ripped out in some way. And I know that may just be a fandom thing. Everybody goes through that, but it feels like that's going to happen. But here's the first question. So if you had,
oh my God, he did catch
we're
it.
watching these 2 teams. So if you didn't know who was Alabama and who was Ole Miss, which one would you pick to win?
I mean, Bama still has more depth. I mean, that's a deal where in one game.
I'd probably stick with my pick.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Because there's certainly a preconceived notion.
Well, see, I don't think. I mean, I'm not. I obviously think Bama has a better chance to win, and all things considered, it's just funny because everybody, it seems like lots of people want to pick the Rebels, but they just something weird's going to happen because it's college or whatever. I don't know, but and it is. And look, I'm not saying that it isn't a factor. I mean, obviously, being Alabama and being Ole Miss, it plays into it, especially where it is. So, second question: you have the same exact players, talent-wise, both sides of. Same people.
Mm-hmm.
Rank your top 5 coaches in the SEC based on who you think would win the game if they had the exact same. So I guess I'm saying the best game day coach.
Ooh.
Me and my brother were just talking about it.
I mean,
We
your
were trying to
pool of
get-
5.
I got the first 3, but I couldn't get the 5.
Your pool of 5 is Saban, Kiffin, Mullen.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
1.
Stoops.
Stoops was what came
I
to
had
mind
Stoops- I had
next, at
Stoops in the
least.
top.
I'm trying to think if we're just missing somebody incredibly
this point-
obvious. You're thinking about Sam.
Yeah.
But are we
I had
jumping a
Pittman in
little?
there.
I don't know.
Okay.
He's like 11-3 against the spread with that team.
I'm just throwing this out there.
Okay.
If talent really is even, do we have to contemplate Drinkwitz?
I had him 5.
You got to think about him. Sure.
I mean, he's a cuss.
Sure. Yeah.
Because we're ruling out Ed. Frankly, in this stage of his
Yeah.
career, we're ruling out Jimbo.
Yep.
We're ruling out Kirby, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Kirby can't be
Whoever's
there.
at Vanderbilt's out. I mean, we've seen nothing from Beamer. We've seen nothing from Harsin at this point.
True.
I mean, could he work the way in there? Sure. But at the moment, no.
Who else is left?
So I was thinking,
Leach.
Saban,
No.
Mullen, Kiffin.
Heupel.
I had
No.
Drinkwitz, and who else did we pick? Stoops.
I would probably, and
I don't know what order, but that's
this is recency bias. I would probably do in order: Mullen, Kiffin, Saban. Saban really benefits from talent.
Yeah, I can't put him one.
Mullen.
Yeah, what did he do at Michigan State? I mean, how big
They were good.
They were good. They were good. I would go Mullen, Kiffin, Saban, Stoops, and I think I would go Pittman, based on just what he's done with nothing at Arkansas.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I we talked about Pittman in top 5 too. Anyway, but yeah, we were talking about it interesting. I wanted to ask you guys. Thank you all for the show. It's awesome. Hopefully we'll win, and we'll talk soon.
All right, Casey.
Thank you.
Thanks. You have to help me remember who won what.
Cody grill set, Casey.
There you go.
Ball.
Yeah. And 2 koozies.
Yeah. Okay.
People are saying, what's the number? There's the number.
662-259-0991. 662-259-0991. Yeah, Virginia's suit's great.
Yeah, it's a good suit.
It's a good suit.
Yeah.
It's an underrated suit.
Hey, who do we have?
Hey, boys. How y'all doing?
Bubba, what's up?
Just got into Celigent going to the game Saturday and kind of going with the son-in-law, and then I sit in the Alabama section with blue on. So I'm calling it right now. I'm tired of hearing these people. We're going to beat them.
You're staying in Celigent for the night?
Is the son-in-law, he's a big Alabama fan?
He played there.
Oh.
So,
are you sick of him?
Yep. Yeah, I'm just tired of hearing all the crap. Well, it's number 18, whatever, national champ. It's like it'll be 27 next year.
Is he a good husband?
Keep counting them. Oh, yeah, he's a good boy. He's got some good kids. My grandkids they got A's all over them, but,
I was going to say, the grandkids are cheering for Bama?
Oh, yeah.
That's got to piss you
got
off,
everything
right?
there is Alabama. So,
does that piss you off?
Yeah, a little bit, but what can I do?
And what about your daughter? Is she cheering for Ole Miss, or has she bought into has she drank the Kool-Aid?
She's been converted.
Oh my God!
It's like the Taliban. She done got converted.
Yeah. See, I've told my girls, listen. Let me just tell you this: don't ever come home and tell me, "Hey, I've kind of become a Cardinal fan," because that's it. Good night. Get out.
Well, I tell you what. The one that really breaks his heart is Daddy, because he hates Alabama more than anyone in the world.
Yeah,
so,
I know.
I'm
with Daddy.
Yep.
I mean, Alabama people got me fired back in 2007. I'm with them.
Well, I just can't pull for them. I've had to hear how great they are, even when they weren't great. You know?
I know.
So,
I know.
I got 2 questions. One is if Eddie O gets fired at LSU, you think he'd come back and be our recruiting coordinator?
No.
If we paid him enough money?
I do not. No, I do not.
Nope. All right. No. Number 2 is what keeps the Ole Miss people from saying, all right, I'm going to pay each player $100,000, get like one of the billionaire attorney and say, Scruggs, and say, we'll pay you boys $100,000, and then we'll do that. And I mean, we could basically get whoever we wanted,
Technically nothing. You would just have to make sure that you made it as a advertisement for a business.
Hey,
towing company.
Yep, we could do that. I'll host them all.
Done.
You could do it. Nothing would stop. Nothing would stop you.
That'd raise the price, I'm sure, but. All right, boys, I'm just sitting here. Actually, Chase, I tell you what, this little terrorist I got named after you, he's got a problem. He's chewing up shoes and underwear, but other than that, he's a good dog.
Sounds like a good boy.
So,
yeah.
But anyway, you boys have a good night. I'll talk to y'all later.
All right.
Sounds
good, Bubba.
Good night, Bubba.
Hotty toddy.
I think he was saying hotty toddy.
He was, yeah.
Hey, who do we have?
Hey, this is Roy and Amanda from Huntsville.
Hey, Roy and Amanda, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, we're good.
Good. So we've just been hearing a lot of people talk this week about how scared they are of this weekend's game.
In the Huntsville area?
Yes.
Yeah. What are they saying?
Just that they're scared that we have a great team, and they're just really scared that Lane Kiffin is going to take it out on Alabama.
Do you think there's nervousness over it being Lane in the fan base? Is that playing into it as well?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because they wouldn't feel this way if it were like Freeze or something, right?
Oh, I don't think so. Definitely not. I think they're a little jealous, actually. I think everybody loves Lane, but they just act like they hate him.
What do you think is going to happen Saturday?
I think Ole Miss is going to win, but I think it's going to be a close.
Yeah. Are you a big Lane fan?
Oh yeah, I love Lane. I think it's hilarious that he doesn't like brown water.
Yeah, I think he has to avoid brown water. I think it leads to other things.
Yeah.
No, she's talking about like Stardust Lake compared to
Florida. that brown water. Yeah. There's no tarpon in that brown water.
Yeah, he can't go fishing for marlin in Sardis.
Yeah. We heard a interview with him, and he was talking about he's more of a blue water guy.
Maybe a month ago or something on Dan Levitar's show, he was talking about Dan Levitar kept quizzing him about, they had to go to the county fair, him and Mike Leach, and to do that little interview with Super Talk Radio or something. I don't know if y'all saw it, but. And then he was talking about, I don't really know about Sardis. I haven't been on there yet. He had been on a pontoon in Tuscaloosa, lake, whatever, but he's not really a brown water fan.
It was hilarious. So I just got to say, Roy and I were driving to Gatlinburg a couple weekends ago for our 20-year anniversary.
Oh, congratulations. Happy anniversary.
Thank you. We had a Neal and Chase marathon like we were listening, and I was dying at Mark. Has he called back, or does anybody know if he really has a life?
He called earlier. He's
hanging in.
He's hanging in. He's betting on Missouri this weekend against his Vols.
Gotcha.
and next weekend, and next weekend.
And whoever Tennessee plays next weekend, that's who he's betting on.
Oh, we were talking about the dude. We might have got his name wrong.
Oh, Brad from IUCA.
Oh, Brad. Oh, yeah, no. We have not heard from Brad. I would assume that he's trying to figure out what to do with the body right now.
We kind of figured he might have been like Manta, whatever his name is, Teo, that used to play at Notre Dame, has an imaginary girlfriend.
Yeah. I mean, that is, I've not thought about that. That's possible. That she doesn't really exist.
I was like,
you're talking yourself out of this. When you got off the call, you're like, no, it's like a 0 or a 1. And then now it's like, well, 5, 6, maybe.
Could be.
I don't know. Something like that.
I don't know either. Crazy. I was like, really? Is this honeymoon? I told Roy, I was like, we should call in. He said it's not live, but we would never call in. We're driving to our anniversary getaway.
So would you want to have been like picked up and taken off the sectional, or would you have been okay still staying on the sectional the rest of the night?
First of all, I mean, I would have slept like 2 days in advance because it's your wedding night. I mean, come on. You got to plan for this shit.
Yeah. But he's in his... I mean, if we're taking his story literally, I got a lot of thoughts. He'd never seen her sleep before. So if that's to be believed, we're already in like a weird territory, right? I mean, things are.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, things are. You can't view things through the prism of normalcy, and then try to figure out what you would do in that world because you've not lived in it.
No, I mean it really just seems very made up. Like, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I'm 85% sure.
That's about right. 85.
Yeah. I mean, unless it was like, I don't know. I don't want to get into religion and connections that way, but maybe it was like a prearranged marriage. I don't know.
Oh,
but
it went
he
that
seems
way.
kind of old to.
I mean, even if you're religious or whatever, the chances of you not even seeing her take a nap is probably zero.
Well, the only thing that like stuck in my mind was like, you know how maybe you had a friend in high school where on a really bad weekend you said, okay, so if we're both still single at fill in the blank age, we're going to get married, and then they do it.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
I mean, how often does that really happen?
I mean,
Never.
I wouldn't think very often, but if you told me 1 in every 25,000 times, I'd buy it, and maybe that's the one.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I guess stranger things have happened.
You know,
It's
Amanda,
just
I've
hilarious.
learned to never say always and to never say never.
Mhm.
Because never is a
I
big word.
I completely agree with that statement.
Yeah, never is a big word. Always is a big word. And those words can come back to haunt you. So it's possible. And like if you say it's 1 in 10,000, I buy that. But there's 1 in 10,000 means there is one.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm not calling him a liar, but it was very, very far-fetched.
Yeah, it was.
I want to ask y'all about something before we get off the phone or whatever. We're going to Orange Beach this weekend,
Okay.
and we're traveling out around 6 o'clock. It takes about 5.5 hours to get there. We don't want to miss the game. You think we ought to go somewhere and watch the game, or just watch it at the condo? Because we're probably hungry by the time we get there. We have 2 kids, 1's 6, 1's 10.
Yeah, I'm watching at the condo. 'Cause
Yeah.
you can control that. You can
With the kids, yeah.
Yeah, just
100%.
order pizza.
But don't you think it would be exciting? I mean, like maybe some lunch and the first half at like Floribama.
Yeah, just watch the first half there and then go back. Give us a little time to get back for third quarter start.
But you're going to end up missing part of the game. Like, let's say that it's 24-14 Ole Miss at the half, and you're racing to get back, and the kids and how old are your kids?
10 and 6.
6 and 10.
Yeah, you're going to end up getting mad at them, and it's not their fault.
Yeah.
That's totally on you. I would order pizza.
This is true.
Look up some online babysitters or something. Let them
Yeah, I
take
mean,
care of the kids.
because the 6-year-old is going to be like, "Why are you so mad at me? What happened?" And frankly, he or she is right.
Yeah. No, they're used to it. I mean, they're used to their daddy screaming and yelling in the garage at the TV.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I mean, my kids went through the 2016 World Series and somehow survived it, so I understand. So, but still, at some point, you know, you just gotta. I did never subject them to that in a restaurant.
Yeah. Good deal.
Well, all right, man. We just figured we'd call in.
Absolutely.
All right, well, y'all have a fun trip. This is the perfect time to go to Orange Beach, by the way. Laura and I went to Orange Beach a few years ago, early October, and it was perfect.
Yeah. We're excited. We just found a low key place. It's right across from the beach on the not so crowded side. So
Yeah.
fall break this.
Yeah, now's the perfect time to go. Hope you have a great trip.
Thank you. Y'all have a good night.
You too. Bye.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
There's Roy and Amanda. This is the perfect time to go to the beach, by the way.
Weather-wise,
Oh,
people,
absolutely.
everything.
Yeah. Yeah, Laura just texted me Lillian's Pizza. She's right.
Lillian's?
Lillian's. It's really good. Hey, who do we have?
Hey, this is Cole from Houston.
Hey, Cole. What's up, man?
Hey guys, we need a little advice here.
Okay.
I'm in a friend's wedding,
Okay.
4:30 on Saturday.
How good of a friend?
What's that?
How good of a friend? Is it a friend that really matters?
Yeah, it's one of my best friends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I can't skip.
Yeah.
Do I
friendship's
record
really
the game
overrated.
and like try to knock down my phone for the whole wedding? Do I have someone flash me the scores from who's sitting in the crowd? Do I watch on my phone, get the reception? Like, what do I do here?
Okay, so here's the thing.
What time is the ceremony?
4:30.
Starts at 4:30.
Oh, God.
So here's the thing.
I know.
Realistically, you're not going to be able to avoid spoilers.
There's no way.
I mean, you're not going to be. You're not. I mean, the odds of you avoiding spoilers is about the same as Brad being real. So you either have to accept that someone's just going to tell you the score and you'll figure it out later, or you need to watch it yourself and run the risk of people getting pissed off that you're distracted. And I can't tell you which answer that is because only you know the people involved. But the whole I'm going
Right.
to watch it later and figure it out at 10:30 tonight who won the game, that's not going to happen. I mean,
Right,
I'm going to tell
right.
you that right now. That sounds good on paper. It's total BS. It's not going to happen in real life.
Yeah, that's true. It's not quite as bad as the other posts.
There will be
on Rebel Road.
Bluetooth headsets with really small earpieces in this ceremony.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I'll be up on the stage, and I'm wish I was just in the crowd, but can't really stick a phone on stage. But that's a good idea. Some headphones, maybe have Kellum in my ears.
Yeah, you could get this would be a good time to invest in a really nice set of discrete headphones that you'll end up using tons of times otherwise.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So it's not quite as bad. There's no one saying that if you're watching the game on your phone, you will be kicked out. There's also not a Ole Miss or Alabama couple, so it's not quite as egregious. But
Yeah, I don't think
I'm
you
still
can.
not a fan of weddings in the fall in the South. But
Yeah, no, they should be illegal. You're not watching. I don't think you can watch, but I think you can listen.
yeah, I think that'll work. And I'll probably turn it on my phone when we get to the reception. But
once you get to the reception, it's fair game.
Yeah.
To hell with them.
It's a party.
At that point, they're married. If they're going to really be upset that you are watching a game, I mean, their marriage is doomed anyway. At that point.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Hey, I got another question that's not related to Ole Miss, Alabama. For Chase. So Chase, I was too young to watch Scott Biddle. I heard about this pitch called The Thing.
Uh-huh.
What was The Thing? What was?
It was
how would you describe it?
It was a combination cutter slider. It was essentially a really, really, really hard cutter. But the way he put torque on his shoulder was not good at all. But yeah, it was a combination, essentially a cutter where there was pronation with the elbow and the shoulder, which created all sorts of mess. I mean, it was the best pitch in college baseball, and it got him drafted, but it also ended his career because of how often he threw it. Because I mean, he threw that, and then he threw probably an 86, 87, 88 mile an hour fastball most of the time. But it was that cutter almost all the time. But yeah, it was essentially a cutter with a little more pronation than usual.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, I was like in middle school when it happened, and they didn't have NC Network Plus back then.
The most impressive day of baseball, or one of them I've seen, was that day in Coral Gables. Neal and I were both there. They were playing Missouri. He faced 13, struck out 12, and had a tap back to the pitcher out of the 13 batters.
Wow.
I watched him pitch. I watched him pitch against Georgia.
Oh, that's right. The really
on
good Georgia
Sunday,
team.
and he shut them down, and then he got hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, last question before I hang up and listen. If Ole Miss had listened to Neal McCready and hired Lane in 2017 instead of hiring Matt, what would the record have been that 2018 season with A.J. Brown and DK Metcalf and all those guys? I'll hang up and listen.
Ooh, that's good.
Dawson Knox would have scored a touchdown.
At least.
But they still would have been awful defensively.
But they would have been really good offensively.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have gone 6-6.
The ability for him to get those guys in matchups.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
DK, AJ, and Dawson?
Yeah.
With Jordan Tamu at quarterback?
It was plenty good enough.
And the running back was Scotty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could have got some work done.
They would have won 8 games.
Yeah, I think that's probably right. The defense would have cost them, but...
Yeah, but they would have won 8 games. They would be far ahead of where they are today.
Yeah, sure. 100%. Burrow trying to tie it in.
Yeah, Bengals trying to punch it back in.
I don't have an update on Diamond, really. I mean, he's going to try to throw this fall. Check velocity. That's my recommendation. When they throw inter squads, see what his velocity is. If it's anything below 90, there's a problem.
Alabama basketball gets a big-time recruit tonight. Jaden Bradley.
Number 8 kid in the class.
Yeah. Arkansas got one yesterday. The league is just stacked.
Yeah.
I don't like quarterback sneaks here because I don't want my quarterback to get bent backwards.
Mixon's in.
That's the play I like.
Yeah, he's in.
Score.
So 14-all, 5:10 to go, third quarter, right there.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so that's probably enough. 2.5 hours here on the big show. So we will be back with you. Don't forget the MPW Digital pregame show presented by Walk-Ons is available on our YouTube channel. Please watch it. You'll love it. Everybody was great. It was really good interviews. All right, we'll take one final call. Last call. Closing time. Hey, who's this?
This is Walter. Is this Coach Saban?
This is Coach Saban.
Coach, are you there?
I'm right here, Walter. He's right here, Walter. This is Eli. Coach Saban's right here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was calling in talking football.
Oh, no. This is talking football. You want talking football or you want talking spring
Talking spring football.
Talking spring football. Brought to you by the Captain's Table. Tell them that Scott sent you and get you a big steak.
But brought to you by McConnell GMC and
screw them.
Some of our favorite beer distributors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in Mobile.
I get
it. A secret society meeting tonight with some of your favorite boosters, you might say.
Were the Johnsons
and,
there?
No, I won't name any names.
Okay, all right.
But there's fear down here.
Yeah.
Everybody's worried about it.
Yeah, they probably should be.
I think they should be. I think the Rebels are going to. I think I've been saying all week the Rebels by 10. I feel good about the Rebels by 10.
That's what Zach picked. I've talked to a couple of college coaches who think Ole Miss wins big. It's kind of hard for me to imagine that, but I get it. I mean, people that know football better than I.
Mm-hmm.
But I have appreciated all y'all's content this week. And, it's an interesting time to be down here in the port city. I was listening earlier, and what I wanted to call in and talk about just for a second, I was listening earlier, and somebody, I think, was talking about they were going to be in Tuscaloosa and how they need to act and that sort of thing. And in 2015, we went to Tuscaloosa, and I was scrambling around for tickets. And I finally got a line on some tickets, and I had to meet the guy at the Wenzel's in Saraland. I'm sure you're familiar with that lovely establishment.
Oh, yeah.
And so I walked in, and the guy and his wife were sitting there with, at the bar. And so we visited. They were season ticket holders, and I guess they thought I was an Alabama fan. And so I played the part the best I could because I wanted the ticket. And they said, "Hey man, we got tickets to the Arkansas game next week. We're going to be out of town. If you want those, we'd be glad." I said, "Well, I don't think I'm going to make it to Arkansas, but I appreciate it." And so as we were leaving, he said, "All right, man, y'all have a good time. Now roll Tide." And it was all I could do, but I wanted the tickets. And I hadn't given him the money yet, so I gave him a kind of a half-hearted roll Tide. So we got to Tuscaloosa, and that was a 6:30, 7 o'clock kick, something like that. And so we'd been in our cups a little bit. And if I remember right, the first half, Ole Miss, we were in the game. We led most of the first half, if not all the first half. And this guy's tickets were on about the 30-yard line, about 10 rows up. So, they were pretty good seats on the home side. And we quickly made enemies of everyone in our section. We weren't terribly obnoxious, but, we were cheering. And right before halftime, this is my message to the guy that called in about an hour ago. Right before halftime, the cops came over and said, "Look, if y'all are going to continue to cheer, we're going to have to kick y'all out of the stadium." And I thought, "You got to be kidding me!" So, against our better judgment, we moved across the field to the Ole Miss section there in the corner. But before we did, we took a selfie and sent it to my man in Saleland, the season ticket holder. who thought we were Alabama fans to begin with.
That's funny.
And he was none too pleased, to say the least, that we'd pulled one over on him. So, anyway, I appreciate y'all taking my call. I appreciate y'all's content. I think 5 or 6 years ago, we had you down in Mobile for a Rebel Club meeting there at the Red or White. We need to get you back down here. If you didn't know, there's a new sports talk station in town.
I heard as
a
much.
rival to your alma mater.
I heard about that. Yeah, I got invited to appear on WNSP this week, and I declined.
I don't blame you. Nobody listens to that station.
Yeah, yeah. I always found it like ironic that like they want me to come on, and it's like you didn't. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Well, it's kind of like Kiffin on Dan Patrick today. What the tarmac, meeting? Why would you go back to USC?
Well, yeah, it's very similar, right? I mean, it's very similar. I mean, like in a world where Lane Kiffin went back to USC, what does that say about Lane Kiffin? I mean, to me, there's no chance. I mean, it would be. Yeah. It's such a reflection on your character that they humiliated you at 3 a.m. I mean, the way that WNSP fired me, the way that they did it, I don't have any respect for it. I have no respect for Ken Johnson. I've said that publicly. I think his son's even a bigger douche than he is. And I mean, I do, and I'll say it publicly. I have no problem with it. I saw him in an elevator in Tupelo once, and he put his
that was a great story.
He put his hand on my son's shoulder, and I wanted to beat the hell out of him. And he's fortunate that my son and daughter were in the elevator. Else I may have. I have no respect for them as human beings. They're bad people, and I mean, so when Lee Shervanian says, "Hey, you want to come on the show?" No, I don't want to come on your show. I mean, I don't. I mean, so it's.
How did that guy stay on the air?
I don't know, but my point is when USC embarrassed Lane Kiffin, there was a better way to do that. You're going to fire your coach in the middle of the season. You're going to do it at 3:17 a.m. on a tarmac in Los Angeles. That's treating someone almost inhumane. There's a better way to do something. So screw that. I mean, Lane Kiffin's not going back to USC. I mean, are there jobs?
Not for all the money in the world.
No. Are there jobs Lane Kiffin will leave Ole Miss for? Sure. Is USC one of them? No. USC's on Ole Miss's schedule. Something tells me Lane Kiffin knows that. I mean, to me, sometimes people just, and I'm not making fun of people here, but sometimes people do this thing where they talk about stuff like this and they never view it through the prism of what really happened to someone. And when someone screws you like that, you don't forget it. I mean, you get over it, and maybe you, like I heard Lane do it today, and I've done it. Like I've said to myself, man, life really worked out. Like I made the most of it, and it worked out. And I get it. But I also remember how humiliating it was that night, how terrifying it was that night, how, we had just bought bedroom furniture for our house in Spanish Fort that week. And it was scary, and Laura was scared. Like, how are we going to pay the bills and stuff like that? I remember how emasculating that felt. So the thing Lane Kiffin likes to tell it in the self, and I do the same thing where you kind of like make fun of yourself a little bit and whatever. But he tells the story about 3:17. But what about 3:27 when he got in his car? And he had to drive home and think, I'm not the coach at USC anymore. And I don't care what anybody says. That's a humiliating thing. So you're going to go return to the people who humiliated you. Like earlier today, he's like,
nobody with any self-respect would ever do that.
Of course, he said earlier today, well, had that not happened, I wouldn't have worked for Coach Saban. I wouldn't have learned what I learned. Well, sure, but that's there's a certain rationalization that comes with that. And I get it. I'm not making fun of Lane at all. I totally understand what he's saying when he says it. But the truth is, they humiliated him. You're going to return to those people? I mean, if WNSP called me and said, would you like to return? I'd say, go screw yourself. I mean, in no world would I go back to work for WNSP. I would never go back to work for Ken Johnson. I would never in a million years go back to work for the people who did that to me and my family. So I get what Lane Kiffin's saying. But when, and he and Dan Patrick, it was funny and stuff. But the truth is, there's no chance in hell he's going back to USC.
No, I agree. One last thing before I'll jump off. When I was a freshman at Ole Miss, I had your dad for freshman English at an 8 o'clock class on Monday morning, and he gave me a B when I probably didn't deserve it. So I appreciate that.
Well,
y'all have a good night.
Thank you. He's as good a man as you'll ever meet. A much better
I
man.
agree.
A much better man than I'll ever be. So I appreciate the call. Thank you very much.
Take care, guys. Thanks.
Thanks.
It's the thing we never talk about, you know?
Oh.
Like, people talk about, would Lane Kiffin go back to USC? And the people that say that, I'm always like, do you live in the real world? Has anyone ever hurt you? Because when you get fired, it hurts. It stings. It hurts you at your core, especially when you don't think you really deserved it.
Going back to the same people.
Yeah, no. Hell no. I mean, the wildest of horses. I would take a job at Target before I would go to WNSP. All right. That's 2.5 hours. That was a good call.
Yeah.
That got something out of me. I appreciate that. It was kind of cathartic.
Yeah.
Makes me feel better about my decision when he said, do you want to come on the show? And I said, no. I really don't. All right, we'll be back with you Saturday after the game. We're as curious as you are. We're as interested in you are as you are. We are as intrigued as you are. We'll hit the button no later than right after the game, maybe before the end of the game. We'll have Chase's observations. I'll have a column. Our staff writer, Walker Bailey. I started to call him an intern, but he's better than an intern. Walker will be in Tuscaloosa, so we'll have eyes and ears in Tuscaloosa. We'll bring you Lane Kiffin's press conference afterwards. I assume we'll hear from Matt Corral and somebody else. We'll bring all of that to you on Saturday night, and we will sit here in this very spot and talk to you for a long, long time on Saturday. So, yeah. Thanks for being with us. Please consume our content. Please hit the like button. That's all we ask. Please hit the subscribe button. None of that's going to cost you anything. And we will talk to you on Saturday night from this very spot. Until then, for Chase, I'm Neal.